Hello, everyone. Welcome to SpeedGaming Live 2022. This is the online tournament. I am here with my co-commentator Mel Queen. How you doing?
You didn't think we were actually live quite yet, but hi everyone.
I think we're live.
I mean, maybe.
If we're live, go ahead and let us know in chat.
Yeah, we're just talking into the void.
It wouldn't be the first time. It won't be the last time. But we are here for you.
Shoutouts to Ms. Metroid getting everything working from a phone.
I'm thoroughly impressed that from a cellular phone was able to put together this entire restream. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, super excited. Sorry, we are just getting one of our tourney orgs into the commentary booth with us to kick this off. I guess while we're waiting for a second here, just Sam and Mr. Martin on restream. Super exciting.
Oh, there she is. How you doing, Star?
Hey, figured I'd stop by and say hi just to make sure we actually got this going. That is a spawn location.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry to cut you off there, Star. We already have incredible advancements here because Just Sam took advantage of the fact that Mido's house, albeit barren, had a Hylian shield in it. So that's a free shield that Just Sam took advantage of. So apologies to cut you off there, Star, but I thought that was pretty important. Anyway, go for it, Star.
No worries, Heaps. London Ranch is way the hero, that's fun, and we're in for some actual fun, now that we are actually live and going. We've got ourselves SpeedGaming Live 2022 here, the online tournament for the Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Should be a pretty good one. We've got just Sam and Mr. Martin on restream today. Two of the community's best runners. Should be an interesting one to see how they do with this scene.
Yeah, if you haven't seen these two runners in action before, some of the strongest Ocarina of Time Randomizer runners in the community, and so this should make for a very good race.
Oh no, Mr. Martin getting speared in the face.
I'd say I jinxed him, but this happened 15 minutes ago. That's not on me.
I genuinely, I hate when I start off something like this, missing a jump like that. Yeah. Usually it's been Man on Roof and Kakariko, but honestly, it can just tilt you the whole way, so hopefully Mr. Martin, well-seasoned runner, he'll just shake this off when we get to it, but...
and just Sam having a little bit of troubles with what we call Mido skip, so traditionally, both being caught by the guard there. So traditionally, Saria's Song or Minuet is required to reach the Sacred Forest Meadow song check as adult. However, Mr. Martin elected to skip playing Saria's Song, and just Sam attempted to, but was unable to, and so had to play Saria's Song as a result.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that, it looks really swaggy to do it, but honestly, it's not worth the time. Wait, what? What is 30? Big Goron sword?
Ooh!
30 is BTS, and I think is that a bomb bag on Frogs 2?
That was, in fact, a bomb bag on Frogs 2. So, most likely not our first bomb bag.
Most likely not, until it is.
Until what has happened so far in SGL, and it... Have all of the qualifiers up till now been AD, or just the first two?
All of them.
All of them have ended up being AD, so...
What a beautiful song to find there. So that's Zelda's Lullaby. It opens up not only a lot of checks, but also opens up an additional song should they choose to go to Kakariko as adult.
Yeah, and a really great dual hint. We don't usually see dual hints in the sometimes hints, but we have up to 3 of them today. Spirit is hard child locked.
Also hard required.
Yep.
So I think it's important here to review the win condition for Sacred Forest Meadow, Long Ranch, Shadowhold. That's the past the shadowy fight. All
That's
right.
Water Darklink River, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so,
And Toilet's dead.
So it's important to review the win condition of these settings. If you're used to watching things like Zelda speedruns or the many different variants of Ocarina of Time Randomizer, lots of them have different win conditions. So the win condition specifically in this tournament or SpeedGaming Live is that you need all 3 stones in order to access Ganon's castle. And you need the Shadow and the Spirit Medallion in order to get the boss key. So we need, hard required, 3 stones, 2 medallions. Everything else could be required, but we don't know yet at this moment. But those are the things that are absolutely hard required as the win condition, in addition to your standard win conditions of bow, magic, and light arrows to be able to beat Ganondorf.
Yeah, and you know, the odds of you starting with one of the 5 required dungeon rewards, pretty good. Not the case today.
Mm-mm. And some pretty quick divergence here. So you'll see that Mr. Martin is routing this adult Kakariko into Graveyard. When you're looking at what we call the early game, or your first 30 minutes at the seed, we call this early... What's up?
Like it's really technical inside lingo. Early game. Early in the game.
Well, no. So you've got your early game, your mid game, and your late game, which all have different things when you're talking about routing and logic, and so the early game is what what the community will often refer to this portion of the seed. And this is where you are doing checks that are, generally speaking, sphere 0 or don't require any other objects in order to access these locations. And so Kakariko and Graveyard tends to have the highest density, but Early Child...
Ooh, let's go!
But Early Child tends to have more songs, which can open up routing better. So that's kind of where you see this divergence. Anyway, go for it, Mel. I saw you get excited.
Your logic means nothing here. We now have a true fact. Also, chat, I would beg, by all means, please gently remind our trackers if you notice something is missing, but the actual tracker on the back end sometimes does eat inputs. So they might have marked something, think they're good, and the tracker has just decided, no, not today.
Yep. Give them so much love.
Yep, give them a lot of love. But yeah, I also want to point out
Mirror Shield.
All the free shields today. We already have Lullaby, Epona's, and Saria's. There is another song that I assume Mr. Martin will be picking up here in the Graveyard.
Truth. And again, it's one of the reasons why you like to see early Zelda's Lullaby.
Mm-hmm. That bomb bag on Frogs 2, though, starting to look a little dicey. Forest Medallion Shadow makes it very unlikely.
Totally.
But...
Oh, and there's Bolero. So to get Frogs 2, you need all 6 child songs. So everything on that top row. Zelda's Lullaby, Epona's, Saria's, Storms, Song of Time, and Sun Song.
And
the odds, and a scale. Oh yeah, because it's Bomb Bag, you're right. So the odds of that being our first Bomb Bag are incredibly low. Possible, but incredibly low.
Yeah, so Lon Lon Ranch, one of our Way of the Heroes, we found Mirror Shield there. One of the differences between Way of the Hero and Path, we know Mirror Shield is Way of the Hero.
Interesting.
Questionable.
Right? Especially because that Mirror Shield, so we know that Mirror Shield really only locks 3 checks in Spirit. So it locks... the check near the 4 Armos, it locks the very tippy top check, and it locks Twin Roa.
But it's a required dungeon.
Yes, and also it locks the reward that comes afterwards. And so, given the fact that it is a required dungeon, you're right. It's totally required. Check that box.
The strength, though, I assume is what you were getting at. How interesting strengths get.
Totally, and that is
a spawn.
That is the owl spawn. When you are in Death Mountain Trail, take that owl down. Interesting.
Yeah, do chickens. Do it, Sam.
Do it! Yes!
Yes! Early chickens!
Which, if you're here as child, sure, chickens takes 2.5 minutes. But it does actually save you time in adult because it takes care of this grotto and it takes care of the man on the roof, which can actually save you time in doing this portion of Kakariko when you go adult.
Possibly. I believe we have chickens set to 5. Star, is that true?
I think it's set to 3, if I remember correctly.
3 chickens. Okay, yeah. We're not doing man on roof.
No, we are not. and I'm used to standard settings where all 7 chickens are required. But you're right. This is SpeedGaming Live, and in an effort to make seeds just a little bit shorter for these runners, they reduced the chicken count to 3 from 7. You absolutely correct. I forgot that.
Okay. It looks like Mr. Martin might have skipped the composer grave while I was staring at chickens happening. Which makes sense because you can knock out an extra check in there as child. Oh,
yeah, I thought he got it. No! Stop it, Andrew! That means Andrew, as adult and child, had bomb shoes.
I love it. You know what? That's great. I hope chickens gave the 5-pack.
Girl, she is explosive.
Oh no,
Mr.
Mr. Martin.
Yeah.
Wasting time and money buying a shield.
I'm pretty sure the adult Anju had the 5-pack. So when talking bomb chews, there's one 5-pack, there's a multitude of 10-packs, and there's one 20-pack. And so getting the 5-pack is fairly unlucky and not really what you want to see, because it's the only 5-pack that exists.
Yes, there's 1, 5, 1, 20, and the multitude is 3.
Couldn't remember if it was 3 or 4. I always forget.
It's 3. 3
Okay.
10-packs.
Thank you.
I was like, that is doctor speak for I don't remember.
For a top whatever runner that I am, I don't know how many packs of bomb chews there are.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. All you need to know is that bomb chews are not in logic. They are in big chests.
You're going to see something really cool here by GSM if you've never seen this before. So this is what we call flame storage, which allows you to activate that torch, or your stick, not next to the actual fire source itself, but from further away. And as long as that stick putting away animation, the last frame of it is inside the torch itself, it'll store that as lit. And as long as you pull that stick back out in the same room as it's loaded of that torch, it'll relight itself. And so it's an opportunity to get you closer to whatever your target might be. So that way, in just Sam's case, if he was to try to take that lit torch from where it originally spawns, he wouldn't make it to the door in time. But because he did the flame storage, he actually has just enough time to be able to light those 2 torches and get that out of the logic.
Yeah, I recently pulled that off for the very first time.
Did you?
An only time.
I'm so proud. And you got it?
I got it. I actually got it.
I'm so proud of you.
That door is the worst door.
That door sucks.
Every time you see someone accomplish that trick, like, acknowledge how amazing they are, honestly, because it's hard.
It's hard. The timing is tight. The position is quite specific. Because if you're all the way against the wall, you won't open the door. Mm-hmm. And also, if you're too far away from the wall, you won't light the torch when you go through the door. So you have to be in that sweet spot. And the timing of how long that flame timer lasts is quite tight. So I'm proud of you, Mel. Good job.
Heaps, tell us what happens when you light those torches and don't open the chest.
It despawns and you have to do it all over. I have no experience with that. Please don't ask me more details.
Yeah, so adult Anju, it looks like, might have paid out with the 5-pack of chews, and chickens gave the 10-pack. So, chickens better than not doing chickens today.
Yep, and you're gonna see Just Sam. So Just Sam's end target is going towards the Saria check. Oh, and some swag bag walking. Frame perfect trick that saves you 0 time.
But it looks cool.
It looks so cool.
Yep. And Mr. Martin showing us what that bolero could potentially be Way of the Hero for. And it kind of looked like a bloopy up on the volcano.
And it's actually really smart to do, because should that be an item that you need on the volcano, it's more important to know that now with your bomb shoes to save one, to be able to go back up the river by the bean plant before going to gold. And so, Mr. Martin making a great call there, playing bolero and checking the volcano.
Yep. And a bomb locked scale, which lessens the likelihood that Frogs 2 is our first bomb bag.
as if anyone thought that was going to be the case.
I am still hoping.
So, Just Sam, should he feel so inclined, can have a little bit of fun here. The pot coming up here in Child Goron City usually requires a bomb bag, and logically requires a bomb bag. However,
Sam,
you can do some pretty... you can do some pretty gnarly things with that strength.
Gnarly.
Including the Goron pot itself strength, or choose.
Yes. That scale could also be hammer-locked. Chat, keeping us honest here. Hammer does different things than bomb bag, but it does allow this check here, where that scale is, to be accessed without bombs.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with Just Sam's play here. Technically speaking, he has everything that he needs to full clear Child Goron City. Not in logic, but is able to do it with the equipment that he has.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't notice if Just Sam saved after the scale to perhaps scum these shoes, which I wouldn't be too surprised if he had.
Yeah, the challenge, though, is that this gives you great opportunity to get to Lost Woods, to Sacred Forest Meadows Child, which is where he wants to go and where the next biggest chunk of progression might be. And so, scumming while getting those shoes back is possible. It would really reduce his routing potential.
He's
and
going for it with strength. No!
Adore this, and he got it. That's it. He gets it. That was delightful. Hopefully we'll see Mr. Martin go for the chew strat, but might also go for the strength strat himself.
Oh, and it's nothing for all the swag. It's just some cash, and he already has a whole wallet.
Yep, I think Mr. Martin's also going for the strength strat here.
Yep, doing the setup we just saw.
Yep.
Not backwalking. That could backwalking.
Yeah, he got the backwalk.
Oh,
it's all about that timing there, and he looks good. That looks great.
Yep. Oh, a bow.
There's a bow.
Okay. So, yeah, we will often refer to things as bomb locked. That is also, like the scale, potentially hammer locked.
Exactly. And so, if you're looking at Just Sam's tracker right now, you'll see that certain dungeons are in kind of a brighter white or more highlighted. Deku, Jabu, Forest Water Spirits. Those are the dungeons that are hard required this season. And of those, Forest 100% requires a bow, in addition to beating Ganondorf himself. And so that bow is 100% required this seed. So good to find early, even though it is out of logic.
And Mr. Martin picking up that cash. I like it, because you know what we've got coming up here? Some scrubs.
Yeah, we do.
And Just Sam is currently about 21 rupees short. Ooh, another big
Ooh. So what you might see from Mr. Martin's side, so Mr. Martin only has 2 chews. Hello!
Okay.
So Mr. Martin only has 2 chews, so you might see Mr. Martin get the song first, save, and then try to do some of these checks afterwards in an attempt to save these last 2 chews.
And yes, that hookshot is 100% one of our Way of the Heroes because water is one of our required dungeons today, so you require both hookshots.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just see if there happens to be a required song here as well.
And one of the important things to remember is that Zelda's Lullaby in these settings cannot be the Way of the Hero song. So we know that even though that song's required, that the seed is not pointing to Zelda's Lullaby as the Way of the Hero.
Hey.
Oh, I don't like that.
I like it.
Oh, that's just muddies the water.
We are
know.
4/6 of the way to that bomb bag on
Oh, God. So I say it muddies the water because we know that hookshot is 100% required. But the Way of the Hero could be pointing either to the hookshot or to the Song of Storms. And we won't know unless we actually pull out the spoiler itself and look to see if the seed is truly pointing at.
What's actually hinted.
Exactly.
We'll be able to kind of suss it out throughout the way, particularly if Storms doesn't pay out with anything, because like I said, we know 100% that hookshot is Way of the Hero. It's just whether or not Storms is also a Way of the Hero.
Yes, correct. And interesting choice here by Mr. Martin, skipping the bomb chew or the explosive locked checks.
Well, yeah, 2 chews left. Had half the number that Just Sam had at the start, so you know, he might be hoping to find another pack before doing that.
Yeah.
Especially after finding Storms.
And he might just...
Shadow!
Ooh, that's a huge hint.
Disgusting. I hate that. Ooh, and a big Poe bottle. Want to talk about big Poe bottles and logical implications?
No, I don't. But I will do it anyway because I love you, chat. So, big Poes. The reason why that's important, and there it is.
And there's our bomb bag.
There it is.
Brew
So,
frogs too.
Mr. Martin probably is gonna go right back into Lost Woods, clean that area out. But the reason why Mel's talking about that is that the big Poe bottle can only be emptied by turning it in. Can't be emptied by any other means. And so sometimes, if, for example, the big Poes locks your logical bow, for example, sometimes big Poes can, like a big Poe bottle that you find in the overworld, can be the logical item to do that check, even though normally speaking, it requires Epona's bottle and a bow. So in very rare circumstances, you can have some wonky logic where it expects you to find a big Poe bottle in the overworld as your access to big Poes to that check. Did I do a good job, Mo? Did I do it?
You did a great job. I will say we are almost entirely in logic. The only thing that is out of logic at this point with that bomb bag is the $5 that Just Sam picked up in Composer Grave. So we're good now.
And very interesting. Oh, go for it. Sorry.
Oh, Just Sam picked up a sleep. Oh, Desert Colossus. No.
Hello, Colossus.
I hate it.
It might be Requiem.
I hate crossing.
I think it's gonna be Requiem.
I hate crossing.
Because we know it's
terrible.
not. We know it's not an ice cavern because that's Minuet.
Yep, we know Minuet, which I mean inherently makes like Saria's likely a Way of the Hero. It just can't be hinted.
Yeah.
But that slingshot. Ooh, big chested Deku.
What do we
I
have?
don't know. It's not a. There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
So now we get to talk about why Hookshot is probably Way of the Hero, not just for Water Temple, but also for crossing the wasteland.
Correct. Go for it, Mel. I took the last explanation. You got this one because I don't want to talk about it because it makes me sad.
Yeah, I mean, technically it all depends on where hovers are. We did get Epona's song, so there are a few things that Longshot is logically required for. Obviously beating Morpha and the... Oh, Blue Fire, let's go.
Focus, Mel. Focus.
No,
Focus.
I don't wanna.
Focus, Mel.
So I'll just say Water Temple because I don't want to get into the specific checks in Water Temple, but also Shoot the Sun, but Lake Hylia is hinted foolish. We haven't talked about that yet, but we didn't really need to.
Perfect. So that gets scratched from the list.
Yep. Epona's to access across the valley in the Gerudo territory.
Which we got.
Yep, we've got Epona, so we can cross that off. The next question is, can we cross the quicksand at the start of Haunted Wasteland? And there are two ways to do that, long shot or hover boots. There's actually a third way that doesn't involve either of those, but it's not in logic.
No. It's called YOLO, and you just go for it.
It's called YOLO, and you're just...
That's what I do! Backwalking.
You're just gonna do some backwalking, some side hopping. Point is, the game does not consider that valid. So we have to wonder, is that what it's required for? And of course, because Spirit Key logic is Spirit Key logic, do we just need it because there's a small key on the right hand of Colossus? Who knows?
Is incredibly niche, but definitely something to consider.
I would say that's the least niche of all of the things I listed off.
I mean, it feels niche to me, but it happens way too much than I'd like to admit. So...
yeah, Star, what of those things is the most niche?
Yeah, one of those things is not like the other. Which is to say all of them. So...
I mean, people are never forgetting the Shoot the Sun one after the qualifier number 2.
Mel said Shoot the Sun. She got that one.
Yeah, but
yes,
Lake,
just
Lake
noting
is
that
foolish
one
too, so like...
Yeah, I was like,
yes.
Mel got that one.
There is that. No, I'm just commenting on that particular one here. People who played qualifier number 2 are definitely remembering that because there were a pair of iron boots on that.
Oh, shoot. As a total aside, if you blinked, you missed Mr. Martin. One cycle Goma. So Goma takes what we would say is 6 damage, or for jump slash of Deku Step doing 2 damage, 3 power crouch stabs. So 3 storages of jump slash in the form of crouch stab. And should you do it fast enough, you can either do it with just 1 single Deku Nut, you can also do it with 2 Deku Nuts. And so Mr. Martin knocked that out so fast that in the time that Star was making a joke, Mr. Martin had already beaten Goma.
We get to be like, bye Felicia.
Bye.
Bye.
So,
bye Goma.
Bye. Everyone wave bye to Goma. So I mean, if you missed it, you'll see Just Sam do it again. I'm happy to explain as we go along. It happens real fast. So,
Keeps is definitely going to be the better one for that because I have yet to accomplish that.
The 1 cycle, you'll get it.
I actually, that's not entirely true. I did get a 1 cycle when my retro arc was glitching out so much that everything was at half speed. I've gotten it once, chat.
It's really easy to hit some quasi frame perfect crouch stabs
at half speed.
When you yeah. Basically like a half a second per frame.
Yes, Starfall, it is hard Requiem required today.
Yep. So one of the things that I was going to mention is that you saw on Just Sam's side, you'll see on Mr. Martin's side, based off of the items and songs that they have, they can actually full clear Lost Woods. And had they chosen to, they could have done Skull Mask. They elected not to at this time because it is an always hint, meaning that hint exists always within the seed itself. But because the Ocarina of Memory game had Slingshot, they were able to do Slingshot Memory game, or Slingshot game, because Saria's song was already included. They were able to do the Skull Kid check. And so have been able to full clear this Lost Woods in one go. Oh, Just Sam.
Oh, Just Sam.
So you might see Just Sam here pull out a Slingshot. Yep.
Yeah, screw the spider. We done here. This is what I enjoy most, is having the slingshot, because it gives you plenty of time. However, with Open Deku, you are usually going in here without the Kokiri sword, and using slingshot does lose you the broken stick that you saw both of these runners set up when they entered this room. So you gotta kind of make an assessment.
Yeah, and they've been quite fortuitous to have Bombad walking in so they could do the ground jump and skip the basement floor path that way. They had slingshot to make some of these things faster. And so, like, they've been pretty, the seed has been pretty generous for them to be able to do an early Deku.
Interesting. I kind of wasn't expecting this. So I would have thought that with storms and just Sam not peeking the crater yet, a little river dip. Maybe do your frogs one, pick up some beans.
Interesting. Yes, totally agree with you. And also, Mr. Martin skipped the last 2 checks in 1 in 4, and 1 in Lost Woods, 1 in Sacred Force Meadow. So Mr. Martin will not have that hook shot, the one that just Sam was able to get. And so it will just make the routing just a little bit more difficult for Mr. Martin, as access to that area is not as easy as in adult, although the save spawn location is quite convenient for that, given the fact that it's in Mido's house.
Yeah, and honestly, let's be real, the fact that Mr. Martin picked up a blue fire bottle, skipping that probably means that he's going ice anyway and getting Minuet.
Probably.
We won't go into the meta quite yet until it happens, but...
Yep. And you can see Mr. Martin doing chickens here. 3 chickens makes this virtually free.
Yeah, 3 chickens is really nice. Too nice, in my opinion, but... you know...
And you'll see Mr. Martin to bottom of the well here, which I fully support. You can full clear it.
You can full clear it. It's so fast.
Oh god, it's so fast. It's 11 checks.
Mr. Martin missing the throw there, unfortunately. Oh, okay.
Oh, hi, Boomerang.
Jabu is required.
Yeah. And one thing I'll say about that, Hyrule Castle Ferry is an oftenly skipped location.
It's... we were just talking about this, how it seems like Hyrule Castle Ferry, even when it has a required item, is rarely hinted versus outside Ganon's Castle Ferry, the adult version of that check. So it's like, usually you know if you need to find your gold gauntlets and get there. That's not the case for the child check.
Yeah, and a lot of times I will think, okay, I will route Hyrule Castle Ferry in my child too, right? Because if I'm going child and ending up in Temple of Time, I'll walk out, I'll do Hyrule Castle Ferry, and then I'll warp wherever I need to go. Which in this case, you know, Boomerang being there kind of deters you away from a child too. Because you're looking for Rudo's Letter, you're looking for Boomerang prior to doing child 2.
Big chest lullaby locked in the well here.
You'll see some cool peeks here from Mr. Martin.
Nice little double action there.
Yeah. Here's some more peeks, big and small.
Yeah, I'm guessing... I like this route, just going through the middle when you can peek those. Play your lullaby, get some stuff opened up.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Well might be loaded. We still have some very big chests in this game.
I didn't think about this. Just Sam has everything that they need to be able to do Forest.
Yes. Yep. Which is a required dungeon. It's a stone. Stones have a little more value than your Spirit and Shadow Medallion because they get you into Ganon. So I am in full support of this.
Yeah. So something you saw on Mr. Martin's side there is Mr. Martin knew that that was a small chest, because usually you can see the corner of the chest peeking out from underneath that rubble, should it be a big chest. However, Mr. Martin still took the time to peek at, because if it was a key, you can start to key count. And if you know that you've only found 2 keys after doing this loop, you can actually skip the basement chest knowing that's the 3rd key. And so it's always important to do key counting, especially in bottom of the well, because it can save you from doing locations like the basement.
Yes. Yep. Hey, another bottle. So there is a... Bottles are nice, especially a fairy bottle. Mr. Martin has been skipping small chests pretty aggressively. So he's...
Oh, God.
Right.
Wait, did Mr.
Again.
Martin skip Dead Hand? Did we get that as a dual hint?
Mr. Martin hasn't done it yet.
But we didn't get that as a dual hint, right? I just want to make sure.
No.
Okay.
No, I like this better because once you have all of this information, you can skip Dead Hand potentially. Oh no!
No. Now Dead Hand's gonna suck even more.
Yep. So there's always the chance that Dead Hand has your last key, so I like to leave Dead Hand for last personally.
Well, that's fair.
And I'm guessing that's what Mr. Martin is doing. You just kind of pick between the two. Do you want to skip basement or do you want to skip Dead Hand? You're going into the Dead Hand room anyway. It doesn't save you the crawling time usually.
Yeah, I think I've accepted, unless I am in like one item from Go mode, that I do Dead Hand as part of my bottom of the well loop, and don't save it for the end. But that's me personally. I know that that's definitely runner dependent.
Yeah, and there's no like right or wrong way to route things like bottom of the well. It's just what works for you. What do you like doing? I would rather jump down the hole and see what's in the basement than fight Dead Hand if I have to.
You know, and I appreciate you for that.
Yep.
So here's the thing about Mr. Martin's route, right? So from here, Mr. Martin is gonna save quit. Well, Mr. Martin's gonna go Adult and save quit and go to Forest Temple. Because they have hook shot, strength, and bow, and it's a required dungeon. Which will benefit them, because that will get them their second hook shot.
Yes, Shannick. Sacred Forest Meadow is in fact double Way of the Hero because that hook shot in bottom of the well is required, and Storms was on the child song check. The other hook shot, which again, both of them are required. We don't know for how many reasons, but certainly just to beat Morpha is enough. It is double Way of the Hero. We don't know which of them was hinted, and it is unlikely that there is a second one. Honestly, you kind of hope that it's not.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's what we were mentioning a little bit earlier, is that we know that hook shot is required, but we don't know whether that Way of the Hero hint, the hint itself, meaning that the item that the seed picked to be the Way of the Hero item, thus the Way of the Hero hint. We don't know if it was that Song of Storms or if it was that hook shot, because now we know both of which could have been the Way of the Hero something.
Yep. Alright, Mr. Martin doing Bomb 2 bowling without a shield, which is so unfortunate.
Honey.
So slow. But you know what? Double defense.
It's fine. And you're gonna see Mr. Martin here go to Hyrule Castle Ferry.
Hopefully.
God, I hope so.
Hopefully. Standard disclaimer. Commentators are in no way biased towards one of these runners or the other, but we do enjoy watching a close race, and so we hope that they stay relatively equal.
I just want them to be successful. I just want them all to be so good and just do such good jobs.
Wish I could just bake a cake.
I want to be a proud Zooter father and have my Zooter children be just so successful. So, and here's Mr. Martin going and being successful.
Yay! And there was much rejoicing.
Just Sam electing to go for a loop you don't see very often, and one that I definitely try to avoid as much as possible.
You know, more and more often I am seeing people do this route, where they drop down after pushing the blocks, and come back here. And I don't know if it's technically faster or if it's just less confusing. Maybe a lot of them were forgetting to actually push the blocks and losing some time. But it does
I feel like it goes in and out of vogue.
Hey, Bosky.
So yeah, I personally am not a big fan of it, but I know that's me personally.
I don't like falling in forest. So I would agree. I don't like. Am I jumping down and accidentally going down the pit that's in the like vanilla bow chest room? Probably. Probably. So of all of the reasons that I am not a fan of this, it's just because I personally do not enjoy falling in that hole.
You know what? I support that. Other places I don't enjoy falling, Fire Temple.
Anywhere.
Not a fun place to fall.
Sun Song! If we didn't already know that Frogs 2 was a useless bomb bag, I would really be pulling for that Frogs 2
Oh my god, right? Especially if something like, could you imagine if the Wasteland, oh my god, not the Haunted Wasteland, but Desert Colossus was Song of Time and was the Way of the Hero for Song of Time for bomb bag. Oh!
Yep. So
delightful.
Interestingly, though, I am thinking perhaps it is Song of Time out at Desert Colossus rather than it's kind of gotta be Nocturne at this point.
Nocturne or Requiem?
I think it has to be Nocturne because if Shadow is Way of the Hero,
is Shadow a Force Medallion?
Yes.
Oh.
So anyone who Goron Tunic on Skull Mask, interesting. We like that, but there's also a wallet available.
I was like, that's a Goron Tunic that nobody's picking up.
I would be picking that up, 100%.
And again, support you, and also recognize that these runners could probably do Fire Temple on 5 hearts should they need to do Fire Temple.
Yes.
Or 4 hearts in a bottle, or cash in their 200 rupees with that wallet for a new tunic.
I feel like 4 Hearts in a Bottle would be a really good song. Like, Ocarina of Time theme song.
4 hearts in a bottle?
4 Hearts in a Bottle.
You know, I'd listen to that band.
Yep.
Yeah.
But these are all Deku Tria's Way of the Hero. Thanks, game. What did we get in there?
I was about to say, I don't know what we found there.
No. Okay, it's Lens.
Oh, so it's crossing the wasteland.
Yep, we gotta cross the wasteland, folks. Shocking.
Big shock. So
we already knew that.
So here's the thing, then. Is Requiem on 1 medallion, aka Force Medallion, or is it on 3 med? Do we know what's on Burning Cack?
We do not yet know what is on Burning Kakarika. Oh, we just saw it. It's Serenade. Hey, Silvers.
Oh, praise. Okay.
Yeah, if you've got to cross, you already know that Bosky is on child side, but if you can do everything on adult side the first trip, nice.
That was by the way, that was a very clean crouch stab strat from Just Sam there. Oh. And a very clean bomb chew strat there from Mr. Martin. Oh.
That was, pardon my aged, my very time appropriate. That was sick.
That was disgusting. That was so clean.
That was so good.
Oh, so clean.
Oh, Yeah, so Serenade is on Burning Kakariko, which means our Requiem is on our Prelude check.
Now, I want to make
More
sure.
than likely.
Somebody found a DC Way of the Hero hint, right?
No.
Am I crazy? Oh,
I mean,
It's Colossus.
Oh,
Way of
Desert
the Hero.
Colossus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heaps.
I saw in chat somebody say DC Way of the Hero,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait, did we find the Dongo's Cavern? No,
Desert
Desert Colossus. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Which is,
honestly, Bombay that early, I might check that and see if hovers are in there.
not a bad play.
Always love that. It's so good.
Lovely little shield flicks there.
That's all of our flourishes for Fire Temple, Lake Hylia, and Goron City.
Yeah.
Very appropriately in Goron City.
So
Yeah.
here's an interesting. Oh, go for it, Star.
Yeah, you're good. Just sniggering at the seed.
Here's an interesting thing. So Mr. Martin's gonna do Forest. Cool, great, awesome. After that, I think Mr. Martin crosses the wasteland.
Yes.
Does he do GGG first?
I don't think you do GTG first. He does. Oh, no magic though.
I know magic, and knowing you can't beat Spirit right in this moment, you don't have Dins and you don't have Hovers.
Yeah.
I think you do GGG.
Yeah.
Because you can dip Spirit, but you know you can't beat Spirit because you know Bosky's on Child's side, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely do it still. Do what I can of Adult Spirit because we know there's not a small key lock. We know it's just Boss Key that's hard child locked. So I think you at least do that in the hopes that there's also magic. Because, like you said, Dins and Hovers, but we do still need magic to get into there as well. You know your Nocturne is waiting out there. There's a long shot for Mr. Martin.
So somebody asked, could Requiem be a Colossus? And I think this is an important thing to talk about here. So here's what we know. The songs that we have left. So we have, what, 4 or 5 songs that we have left?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Prelude of Light Check, which requires 1 medallion. We have the Burning Cack, which requires 3 medallions. We have the Ocarina of Time song, which requires the 3 stones. We have Ice Cavern, which we know is Minuet. And we have what is at Desert Colossus. So those are the 5 songs that we know.
Yeah.
And Shadow locks 2 of those songs that we don't know about.
So Shadow could be behind our Iron Boots.
So, but here's my one question, because I think now that I'm thinking about this more, so Forest and Water are doable, which gets us a song, and could Requiem or Nocturne just be on the Ocarina of Time song and not necessarily crossing the wasteland?
Yes, exactly. But I do think I think Lens of Truth was the only thing we found. So somehow crossing locks our Requiem.
Yes.
That's the only that makes 100% sense, but that also means that our magic has to be available before.
Yeah, so there's a chance then that crossing the wasteland could be Requiem and Nocturne could be behind Forest Temple and Water Temple.
Yep. But we still need our Iron Boots, logically. Practically, we need either Iron Boots or a Gold Scale. And honestly, there's a chance that, depending on where our items are, all of this progression that we're speculating past that could also be further locked by Ganon's Castle.
Yep. And so, definitely something to consider. And that's what these runners are thinking about, right? You're trying to think about what are my next plays, what has a higher likelihood of being required, what has a lower likelihood of being required. Mr. Martin's sitting here thinking, okay, crossing the wasteland is probably required, given my newfound knowledge of Deku being with Hero, and all I found was a lens.
Yep. And yeah, Star pointing out in chat that it doesn't necessarily have to be the song check. It's just once you get that crossing aspect in play, we know that Requiem is somehow logically involved in that. And also, we've all been way too jaded about Song Way of the Hero.
Yeah, but Mel's totally right, because if we just had Requiem, we wouldn't need to cross. That'd be a mute point.
Yeah. It could also be Song of Time for something in GTG on the right side.
I'm not thinking it.
I mean, the very nice thing about most of this is our double hints and our sometimes hints have almost completely weeded out Song of Time checks. But I'm double checking what our Dark Link loop. There is a small key on Dark Link, which is not Song of Time locked. GG keys are just so trolly.
Yep, right side GGG, exactly.
Yeah. I also have a right to remind you two, don't forget as well, that the lens doesn't have to be Way of the Hero for Wasteland Crossing.
It doesn't have to be.
Could be treasure chest game.
Womp womp, yeah. But I'm gonna continue to go back to ignoring you, Star. Because 99 times out of 100, it's for crossing the wasteland. And if it's that 1% of time that's wrong, you are welcome to come and rebuke me. Anyway, yes,
Star,
go.
Will you listen to Heaps for like 5 minutes while I step away and refill my water?
Sure.
I'll be listening.
Wait,
I just don't have a microphone.
Did you just put Star on to babysit me?
No!
That's a yes.
Please not.
That's an absolute yes.
I would never.
So Star is here
never.
to babysit me now. Go get water.
I thought Mel was going to tell me to shut up, so...
I mean, we're trying to be good on commentary. No, but Star brings up a very important point that needs to be mentioned, that Lens has two functions. The first being crossing the wasteland, which we are almost certain is the case given the fact that Desert Colossus is a Way of the Hero location. However, Star is also correct that the Lens minigame in Market also requires the Lens of Truth. So we cannot say with 100% certainty in this moment that Lens of Truth is for crossing the wasteland. So Star is correct, although I don't like to admit it. Is that fair, Star? Is that reasonable?
You are perfectly fine to complain about this seat's logic. I did, after all, roll it.
You'll see on Mr. Martin's side the trick that I tend to like to do in Forest Temple, which is you set the blocks and then you do a recoil to be able to get to these hands. And through this process, you skip having to do the 2 bubbles. You skip that room in Forest Temple.
Yep. But yes, note 2, yeah. Colossus, Way of the Hero, Shadow Way of the Hero. Note that Shadow Way of the Hero cannot be for the Forest Medallion at the end of it. It is specifically for an item in there somewhere that locks something required to beat the sea.
Yep, exactly.
What that item is, who knows? But a Shadow Way of the Hero does not equal the required Forest Medallion. It is a 2 and 3. It is a 1 and 2 chance that Requiem is there because Nocturne can't be, but there's no guarantees.
Yep. And so to Star's point there, should Shadow be required for the song that you get from the Forest Medallion, the hint itself would actually say Temple of Time is on the Way of the Hero, because that's where the check is for beating whatever the Forest Medallion is. In this case, Shadow Temple.
Yep.
Welcome back.
Very little has happened. They've just done checks the other already did. Heaps is still not amused about the possibility of Lens game.
I mean, let's acknowledge Lens minigame is important. It just is never what's hinted.
Truly. Just Sam also going to be disappointed here after full clearing Goron City, and then finding their Goron City barren hint.
Yeah, and Just Sam, not at I wouldn't call it a disadvantage at all to be without that long shot, but is adult without it, which sucks.
Yes. Yes. The one advantage that they do have is that they have a bonus song, right? They got a bonus song, right?
Oh,
Did they get a bonus song?
Sam has not done adult Kakariko yet.
Ah.
So,
Okay. So they can't do GGG then until they get a bonus song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite yet. But I mean, it's just in the windmill. So
Look, I trust the trackers far more than I trust myself.
that's wise.
Yeah.
Chat, if we ever say that a runner has something that's not marked, we're probably lying to you. Not intentionally.
I love this strat. So Just Sam is going to pull out a bomb during the explosion of the previous bomb, allowing that second explosion to happen instantaneously and allowing Just Sam to destroy both of those walls very quickly. It's a real nice, really slick strat. Love seeing it.
Business.
Porter
Harding. The nice thing is you don't need to use bombs in here after picking up those silvers.
Truly.
Storms could also be way of the hero for those silvers until we see wherever the third strength is.
Yeah. I mean, Storms, and again, you know, to Mel's point that she had mentioned earlier, bottom of the well is, oh, come on, here it is.
Yes, the
oh, we're getting the Death Warp. Let's go!
Love it. Let's go.
So to Mel's point earlier, bottom of the well is one of the highest density locations, and only gets faster because of something that we call chest size matches content. So you'll notice these small chests in the sea tend to carry items that are traditionally refills or things that are not required to beat the sea. Things like heart pieces, heart containers, money, Deku nuts, Deku sticks, so on and so forth. God, I want to talk about that real quick, but I'm going to hold. Big chests being things that are unique items or traditionally things that are required to beat the sea. Things like bomb bags, things like bows, hook shots. Also unique items such as Stone of Agony.
Which I think we've already seen.
We did see that.
Hot Rodder, I think it was.
Yeah.
Alright.
Go for it.
Dipping into Dodongo's Cavern, which we speculated about earlier, but I think that this could end up just being... We'll see, of course. I have no idea what items are in here or aren't. But considering what is available with that long shot and Epona's, Just Sam might be wasting some time in here, but we'll see.
Yep. And that's why I think Mr. Martin, with the information that they have and the items that they have, will go to GGG after this. Knowing that with Bolero, they have very quick access to Dodongo's Cavern, should they ever want to come back.
Yep, absolutely. And, I mean, so these settings, in theory, are designed for quicker seeds. The fact that everything has been all dungeons up till now is, you know, just kind of a thing that happens in rando.
Yeah.
But that makes it very interesting when items are kind of locked, buried deep, because usually you don't have to think about that.
God, that Armos never gives me a bomb refill when I need it. I'll be at 30 bombs, and the Armos like, hey, you want like 5 more? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then I'll be at 2, and then Armos is like, hey, you want a recovery heart? I'm like, no! No, I don't want a recovery heart.
Look, the Armos is just working with what it's got. It's opening its big trench coat and be like, you want a bomb refill?
I disagree. That it reads my inventory, it knows what I want, and gives me the exact opposite.
Yes. The randomizer is out to get heaps specifically, chat.
Truly, truly. Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last time.
Yep. I am the randomizer in this case. I am out to get heaps. Also, hi, Bear! Also, everyone else in chat, of course, but I love Bear, so...
Bear trying to correct
I
myself
know.
there. Love that.
I'm like, I have chat bias. I don't have like race bias, but I do have chat bias.
So far though, nothing really paying out in Dongo's Cavern so far.
Yeah, it will give you a fairy if you are, I think, under a whole heart.
Oh. I don't pay attention that much. What? No, behave yourself.
No.
You need to drink more water.
I did get more water.
I'm proud of you.
Hydrate, folks.
Yeah, this is your 1 hour reminder.
I was gonna say, is it too early to do 1 hour shoutouts? Like, we're technically a minute early, but we're also like 16 minutes behind in that case.
I think it's time. Go for it, Mel.
All right. Well, first off, thank you, chat, for being with us here, whatever your time zone is. Give our runners, Just Sam the Boss, and Hey Mr. Martin a follow. Their links are in chat. Our trackers today, Warren Traveler, This Isn't Baseball, and Shanik. I believe Shanik is on notes, but it might be Warren Traveler. It doesn't matter. They're also filling in the note sheet that the bot is reading to remind us how wrong we are about remembering things.
Just literally all the time.
All the time. Our organizers, I see both of them in chat. Star and Mira, thank you both so much for doing all of the legwork, getting these settings together.
Oh my god, right?
And Heaps. This is so fun.
That's me! And we have Malqui.
Yo.
So, if you are enjoying what you're seeing, the runners, the commentators, to our incredible trackers who I know do some streaming of their own, go ahead and give them a follow. We're having a blast out here. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we're having a good time. I will acknowledge, I don't know if any of you watched the first qualifier where Heaps was doing commentary with the Salty Sponge, one of the top runners. Definitely go give it a watch. I can't live up to Sponge, but
Oh my god.
I try.
I can't live up to Sponge. You kidding? As somebody who is arguably top 5 runner in the community, by far, bar none.
Top 5. Sponge has placed second 2 years in a row now in the main tournament. Sorry, Sponge, if you're listening to this. I didn't want to call it out, but
That's why I said top 5. Look. There's a reason I said top 5. I was like, it's not enough that I don't have to call out.
But top 2 2 years in a row feels different than top 5 to me, and I want to acknowledge that.
Okay, fine. Mel is correct. Top 2. 2 years in a row. Only a matter of time until top 1.
Yeah, Heaps is just jealous.
Oh, truly, I went 0-2 in season 5. You kidding? I got my ass handed to me.
And yeah, 10 skulls was junk, but Mr. Martin done with Forest.
Yep. So this is where we're really going to see where Mr. Martin decides to go at this point.
Just a nut grade on adult shooting.
Yep. Just Sam here, having retreading ground that Mr. Martin has already covered. And pretty sure this is Mr. Martin who's going to be doing field into valley into GGG.
Did either of them actually turn in that big Po bottle?
No, but Mr. Martin should be going to it. And as you can see, like, has enough bottles that if he truly wanted to go up river into Ice Cavern, could do so without needing to turn this in.
Yes. Yes. So 10, 20, and 30 are on. 40 and 50 are turned off. 30 is an always hint, like Star is saying in chat. So generally speaking, the most you have to collect is 20. Yes, for speedy reasons. Also, I don't know the last time most of you in chat have collected 50 skulls, but that is a task.
It's terrible.
Task.
Truly terrible. But yes, if you have any questions during this seed, please feel free to ask Mel or I or chat. The whole reason we signed up to this is to help y'all understand what is happening, not only with the execution or the routing, but just generally speaking, what is Ocarina of Time Randomizer. So we are here for you, and we are here to make your viewing experience as good as possible.
You sound so much more noble than me, where I'm like, I just signed up to bug heaps.
I mean...
Ooh, oh, okay, sorry.
I mean, that works too. Anyway, what?
This is a... Oh, there's
magic! Oh, shoot!
Okay, so, Bolero, which was also... no, Bolero did not in any way lock our access to Crater. Never mind. Ignore me, chat. Bolero is not Way of the Hero for that magic.
Nope. But it was a fun thought, though. I liked the thought exercise.
I tried.
And I support
Tried really
you.
hard.
I support you.
I mean, Lon Lon Ranch stacked with 3 Way of the Heroes would also be very fun. Like, let's not lie.
So, the challenge is that Mr. Martin's not going to get that magic for some time. Even finding Nocturne.
Yeah.
The odds of playing Nocturne and going back for one singular check in the absence of magic makes it fairly less likely that Mr. Martin pushes his way back there for that magic. So hopefully there's a second one that's available somewhere.
Yeah, it would not be 2 checks though, or 1 check, it would be 2 checks because Mr. Martin did Composer Grave as an adult, meaning that the torches there are also available.
Yes, and to go back and do the torches as adult, you would need magic, which is the thing that Mr. Martin will not have should they choose to decide to go back to...
I am saying that Mr. Martin would go back as child.
Oh, I mean, it goes back as child, totally. I don't know why you would... I don't know when Mr. Martin's gonna back child, but you're right.
Yeah,
like
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why you assumed that I was suggesting he would go do torches. As
mostly
an adult.
because I was like, when the hell is Mr. Martin going back child?
We've got Jabu, we've got Child Spirit. Just depends where our Requiem is.
I was like, true.
We do not know what is that Desert Colossus and what shenanigans this seed has in store for us.
Look, am I saying that it's not possible? Yes. Am I saying it's probable? Less likely.
Why does Heaps always think I'm wrong, chat?
I'm not thinking that you're wrong. I'm just thinking that you're... I'm just thinking probability-wise you're wrong.
You're right.
I'm sorry that your Ocarina of Time commentators are bickering like an old married couple.
So one of the other, like, interesting things, whenever Just Sam happens to go child again, which could be longer, like, that magic is really nice for Just Sam, but it's less compelling to go to Bottom of the Well now. Like, I think they both have some very uncompelling progression ahead of them. Oh.
Is that straight 3?
That's straight.
Delightful. Sorry, I was just laughing at chat as I am getting reamed. For no reason, I'm sharing love and support and then just getting lambasted in the commentary.
I love you, Heaps.
Yeah, whatever. You signed up to torture me and you know it.
I did not. I signed up before you signed up, so, like...
So is this where you turn your nose up to me and go neener, neener, neener?
Who's torturing who? I think we are both equally torturing chat.
There we are.
What? That's fair. We're leveling the playing field because chat always wins.
True.
We are ensuring that no one wins.
Yep. And here's Just Sam following in Mr. Martin's footsteps. The only difference being Just Sam missing that long shot from Well. But we'll be getting that strength 3 here soon enough. And honestly, if you gambled earlier GGG, you'd be walking in with a strength 2, which is actually not that bad.
Yeah, and I don't know. That kind of makes me suspect Ganon's even more. Because that's now what, 10 checks? Super available whenever we happen to find our iron boots or gold scale?
I think, yeah. And I think at this point, well, I mean, what could it be? Actually, we have quite a bit because we don't have Dins, we don't have hovers, we don't have letter. In addition to light arrows, which we need to beat the seed. So we're actually missing quite a few items before we actually hit what the community has called go mode, meaning they have everything they need to just go and beat the seed without opening up any more checks for items.
Oh, gold scale!
So that's interesting.
It is interesting.
Interesting.
So, we haven't talked yet about any of the wallets because we don't like wallet and tunic logic. I think I can speak for both of us when I say that.
Yeah. So the reason I say it's interesting, so Water Temple logically requires iron boots.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can do every check in Water Temple minus Central Pillar with Gold Scale. And Gold Scale opens up, or Water Temple opens up Ganon's castle. So you might see Mr. Martin, after finishing GGG and possibly crossing, go straight to Water Temple.
Yeah, it's just... So this is a scary play because even though it's only one check, we also have a hint for the Dark Link loop, which is 2 checks. The chest that usually has your long shot, and the chest that you would usually get floating down the River of Water, playing Song of Time after it. Those are dead. Those are not boss key. Meaning there are 3 places now that boss key can't be for a successful gold scale water, and that's a little scary.
Yep. There's only 10 treasure chests in the game in Water Temple, apart from like 10 items, 6 of those being keys, 4 of those being items, and then of course the boss key. So only 10 possible locations that boss key can be. And you're right, Mel. 3 of those are already gone through Gold Scale. That's 7 left. So
where's Morpha in that?
So Morpha is number 11.
Morpha's 11. Okay,
Yep,
just making
Morpha's
sure.
11. Yep.
We need to acknowledge Morpha cannot have the boss key.
Sadly.
Yep.
So somebody pointed this out in chat, and I might actually agree with them. They had mentioned that just Sam having magic, just Sam drop Auroras and bail, and I think you do.
Yep, I would. I actually thought Ferora's Wind was in bottom of the well, but it wasn't, so that's great for just Sam.
Yeah. I honestly think you drop Auroras and you get out. Because you have really good access to water from GTG. You just hop down, float down the waterfall, and you're right at Lake Hylia. And so...
My one disagreeing with that is I do think you actually dip and at least peek the maze. You do your lobby, the 2 bow lock checks in there, and then you peek the maze.
I support that. I'm okay with that. But yeah, no, I think having Strength 3, having Gold Scale, having Magic and Ferora's Wind, having quick access to water, I think you drop Ferora's and run. Because worst case scenario is that you beat Ganon's, or full clear Ganon's, it doesn't have anything, and you Feroa right back to GGG.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the things that you might want to conserve your magic for, like your Haunted Wasteland. We don't have fire yet, we can't do that. These runners don't need the Lens of Truth, so you don't need to save it for that. And you know you're doing the Colossus Fairy on the way in to get whatever song is there, so you're getting a magic refill from that. So all of the reasons that you might kind of say, I'm not gonna do a Ferora's Wind here, like, those are gone.
Yep. And just Sam peeking, I don't think I see a big chest anywhere in the maze.
I don't think I do either.
Just Sam electing to do the loop. Good for them.
Wait,
Oh, was there a big boy in the maze?
There
Left
was a
side.
big boy in the maze.
Okay, never mind. That would
Okay.
explain why Just Sam's doing the loop.
All right. Well, yeah. I support this because this is what I would do. I would have peeked the maze. Clearly, I would have left because I would have misidentified one of the chests. But if I saw a big chest early on enough in the maze, I would do it on the off chance that it is, you know, hovers, letter, irons.
We all know
Just
it's going to
an-
be another slingshot, right?
It is. It's definitely another slingshot.
There's always one slingshot in GGG, and I don't know why.
I don't think we've seen Nehru's yet. It could be that.
Ooh, that's also a terrible item that nobody wants to see. Yeah, no, I think you, from a routing perspective, I think that you are okay either way. I think doing GTG and getting a big chest is a great play. I think dropping Furor's Wind and going and doing water, knowing that you can do
Then get
the
back.
far majority. And then going and doing Ganon's, which Ganon's Castle also has one of the highest check densities in the entire game.
Yeah.
With the gold gauntlet room having literally the highest density in the entire game.
Here it is.
I knew it! I knew it!
Why is it always a slingshot?
Always a slingshot in GTG.
Nice slingshot game.
No heaps, Wower, come on. Look, I have played enough seeds to know that it is always a slingshot in GTG.
Keeps
Also,
literally.
though, oh no, Martin.
I'm pretty sure I called this.
Martin
happening?
just reset without saving the game.
No.
No.
I was so okay. I am so confused and now devastated.
That's all of Forest.
That's all of
Martin
Forest.
DM'd me about
Run.
15 minutes ago letting me this would happen. He did say that he will try and continue, at least for now, and I do not see a forfeit from him in the race time chat yet. So he is still playing, but oh man, that feels bad. That is a that he did the well, what, 40 minutes ago? About that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is very hard to come back from mentally.
It's a
and
full
the
forest.
progression, yeah.
Full forest, decent bit of overworld, having to do the Din's Ferry again.
Yep.
He can at least get most of GTG, but he probably still wants that gold scale.
The problem is that still needs to be Forest, and Forest is a 15-minute time commitment.
Yeah.
Regardless of
even
knowing
if he
the
remembers the
information on it.
keys.
Yeah. Like that is 15 minutes guaranteed. Sure, you can skip some fields. Sure, you can skip some other things, but like, for example, Mr. Martin can now skip the entire rest of GTG, apart from gold scale. But even still, like, oh man, breaks your heart.
Yeah.
Truly.
And I mean,
It does.
Forest is the worst part of all of that because I know Mr. Martin did Goron City during that time. I know Mr. Martin did GTG during that time, which you go back in for the gold scale, but I don't think it was that deep.
It was the lobby.
It was the lobby, yeah. You go back for those gold.
There was a big
so-
chest on the left side of the maze, though, and if he wants to go for that, he's gonna have to collect some keys. So at least he can rush the light room, but it still takes a couple minutes to get there.
Yeah.
It feels bad. There's it hurts to see it. It happens to people. Sometimes you just it doesn't feel good, though, in a tournament qualifier especially.
Yeah.
No. And I mean, the nice thing is, Mr. Martin is a fabulous runner. I'm gonna be honest, I can really see him making up this 40 minutes in about 20. It's just doing Forest again that really sucks.
Well,
Oh
and
yeah, it's not gonna
here's
take
the
him the full 40 to catch up. 20-25 probably to redo Forest, do a handful of overall checks because it wasn't that much. But it's still going to take him a 25 minutes, maybe half hour. Time
So
loss still does
here's-
not feel good.
Here's the thing, though. He still has well done on Just Sam.
Yep.
And so, like, there's still a there's still a chance that Mr. Mark could do really well, even with a 20 to 25 minute time sink.
Yeah, exactly. Like, chat, this sucks, no doubt about it. It feels bad, but Mr. Martin is one of the best runners in the Ocarina of Time randomizer community, and it's definitely not over for him. It probably means that he'll make a salty comment in the race time room and then do an additional qualifier.
Yep.
But it should be fine, to be honest. It just feels bad.
Did Sam set Furores? I don't think he did.
I don't so. There's no magic gone, so.
Oh, Sam doesn't have a long shot. That's why Sam didn't do water.
That's right.
That's why Sam didn't do water. It all makes more sense now.
Suddenly, it all makes more sense.
Yep,
And
yep,
yes, thank you to our tracker for Mr. Martin, who has redacted any progression and is going to be having to click those buttons again. I am so sorry.
And so, to that point, though, even if you don't have long shot, knowing that you're not getting Serenade this seed, it is still worth drop, unless you have somewhere better to drop Furores, and just Sam might, here in spirit, maybe, knowing that you need Requiem, and that kind of makes that less attractive. But if you don't have anywhere better, dropping Furores in GTG for Water Temple is not a bad play. Because it is still faster to Furores into GTG, hop out and go to water that way than preluding and riding across the field. Unless you incorporate the field checks into that.
Yeah, I don't know. Having not done South Field, their not vanilla, but their adult spawn is probably faster. Or a better, it's probably better. So I am guessing Just Sam is hoping that that's the play that ends up being available, is doing those 3 checks from that adult spawn to Lake.
And I can see that. Making that travel time more efficient. Because...
Always about the efficiency.
I was just about to talk about checks per minute. So when you're doing Ocarina of Time Randomizer, one of the biggest things to think about is, your checks per minute, sometimes checks per hour. And you want to try to maximize how many of those that you can do. And so if it's going to take you an extra 20 seconds to get somewhere, but you can do 3 extra checks in the process, you then got 3 more checks in the same hour that you would have, otherwise skipped. And so it's something to think about when you're thinking about routing, is how can you optimize your checks per hour? And there it is.
Not surprised at all to see those there. That does help us confirm that Longshot is also required for crossing the wasteland.
Yep. Yes, because either you need long shot to cross or possibly long shot to get the song like Requiem. So there was no way you were getting hovers.
Yeah, anyone who might have stepped away over the last couple of minutes, Mr. Martin did a save quit without the save part of the quitting. And lost about 40 minutes of progression. He is going to try and continue, but it does mean losing all of Forest and having to do it again. Hey, Nocturne!
And there's Nocturne. Yep.
I am shocked. Shocked, I say.
Yep. So, there it is. And we were all almost certain that it was going to be Nocturne.
At least Shadow can potentially be merciful and have our Rudo's letter in it.
Yeah, and then we get to see Len's mini game and then prove Star wrong. What? Who said that?
Heaps.
I mean, what? It was love.
We're not here to prove anyone wrong, except Heaps, right, Star? We're here to prove Heaps wrong.
Look, the only reason
to laugh at you both.
The only reason I tease Star is because I like Star. It's out of love that I tease Star. And not out of malice.
It's true. It's true.
Oh, I know. It's still funny.
But I am also excited to see Len's minigame because who knows? Maybe our letter is in there.
It's possible.
Disgusting. We don't have lights yet. Maybe Lens leads to light arrows.
And very possible. Yeah, we're still also, oh, hello. We're still missing, we're still missing Dins. We're still,
Are we? Are we here?
About that.
Truly, we are
Let's
not
go.
missing Dins.
The game is on our side. Proving him wrong is the goal now.
It gave us the slingshot. What more do you want?
You're right. Chat, when Heap says there's always a slingshot, there are 3 slingshots in the game. If you're not familiar with the item pool, there are 3 slingshots. And that's why in chess size matches contents or chess size and texture matches contents like this, when there's a big chest and you just need 1 or 2 items left, it feels, it eats at your soul how often it is a slingshot.
Yep.
Because at least bombs, like, hey, you know what? I get an extra 10 bombs. I'm not mad about it.
But how many times have you gotten a slingshot and went, oh, so glad I got this slingshot. Whew.
Okay, for me, who cannot one-cycle Goma without it, all the time, very happy to see a slingshot.
You're not wrong.
Oh, I thought Just Sam was like... unaliving? Is that the way we should be speaking of this?
I was waiting for some hot new tech that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, no, just an accident. Maybe Just Sam also plays on something where the C buttons are on a joystick like us.
Well, except for one of them was on left, the other was on down. So that'd be a wild C-stick flick.
Okay, Heaps.
Huh.
I'm gonna get personal for a second here. I have seen the way you have played some songs in this game.
Oh, terribly. Terribly. Do you know how often I C-stick flick? All the time.
All the time.
All the time. I
All the
C-stick flick all the time.
My point is, choose your controller carefully and pick something with notches.
Don't be like me and play on an Xbox controller.
Or a PlayStation 3 controller like me.
Yeah, you know, choose better in your life. Live to a higher standard.
Learn, yeah, this is where we parent chat. Learn from our mistakes, chat.
Mostly we're joking around at this point, as we're watching Just Sam do Spirit and watching Mr. Martin try to catch up. And so, while lots is happening right now, it's a lot of dungeon and dungeon execution that is happening. So, not too much to commentate on. If we were to truly break down some of the executional moves from these runners, there is actually a lot happening here in the background and behind the scenes of their execution that's making them just a little bit faster through these dungeons. Like Z-targeting. Definitely making that block push faster.
Yep, and I'm not sure, Sam making a very interesting decision to do this. Oh, maybe just for the skull. Oh, it doesn't have long shot. Okay, so we're about to approach kind of the last real question about that hook shot being way of the hero. If there is a small key here, logically, this dungeon requires us to have that long shot. It's done.
Did Just Sam peek this chest, though? I feel like he did.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
Peeking this chest. Oh, it's a big
He
chest.
did. So he did see a big chest.
Yep.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
I hate this game.
truly went into the books.
Just
So
Sam has the benefit of having both wallets, knows that that tunic is available just by purchasing it.
So what I was going to mention is when you are in Desert Colossus and you walk out of the sand onto that brick platform, from the far corner of that brick platform, you can actually peek that hand. You can't tell if it's a small chest or a small key. The chest is too small to go to the peak, but if it's a big chest, i.e. an item or the boss key, you can see it from the ground. And so Just Sam probably peeked, saw the corner of that chest, knew it was a big chest, and then went for it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you peek that chest, I would say that is the most common one to go after, even if you do peek it, just because you do question what you have seen, because the peek is
Terrible.
unreliable.
Yeah, it's terrible. So one thing I want to talk about is you saw Just Sam pick up the Kokiri sword. So in some settings that you may have seen or played recently, we have what is called closed Deku, meaning that Mido is blocking the entrance into the Deku tree, requiring a Kokiri sword and a Deku shield. However, SGL, in an attempt to make Siege a little bit on the faster side, has made it open Deku, meaning that Kokiri sword is not required. And in fact, in these settings, Kokiri sword doesn't lock a single check. So it's nice to have, but it is in no way, shape, or form logically required in any part of the scene.
Yeah, it's especially nice to have. I believe Just Sam has a stick upgrade, but Mr. Martin doesn't, or maybe it's vice versa. Maybe I'm just thinking of the nut upgrade.
Just Sam picked up the stick upgrade, which was on Phantom Cannon.
Okay, yes. Going through Jabu with Kokiri sword, if you only have 10 sticks, real nice. In theory, you shouldn't need it, but it's still nice to have.
Mr. Martin doing a nice little crouch stab into a jump slash there.
Yes.
That Poe can be a little bit tricky, but there are some real slick ways to one cycle that Poe as you're trying to take advantage of some of those vulnerability frames before that Poe turns into their invulnerability phase.
Yeah, and Mr. Martin having lost some progression and trying to make up time, which he is doing a great job of, as Chad has pointed out. I'm sorry, there was just not a lot interesting in Forest, so I haven't been watching. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, Mr. Martin!
Yeah, no!
Mr. Martin, I think, looked away and then was like, shoot!
The real Meg!
Which one's the real bag?
Love it.
Just Sam going for a cycle reset here. Sometimes it's worth it if you get off cycle.
Yes. Again, if you are new to just Ocarina of Time, the real Meg spins. There is a tell. Because they didn't want you having to shoot 3 Poes before you find the real one.
Mm-hmm. Something I want to point out on Just Sam's side that you might have missed is that while Just Sam was climbing up, you could tell that he was between platforms when the platform moved and he shifted a little bit. The reason he didn't fall off there is that if you were holding the Z target, it actually allows you to hold onto that wall much more consistently than if you are not Z targeting. So if you're having a hard time climbing that wall, Z target, and that will give you more climbability, and you'll much harder time at falling off the wall. Still possible, significantly harder.
Yeah, so suddenly the not leaving furrours in GTG makes more sense. Just Sam was saving it for the top of Spirit here. Also, Mathman's in. If you're looking at the shadow, Link's shadow, I feel like you're doing it wrong. Like you might as well be watching which of the posts shows up the frame earlier before the others.
So technically,
it's good to know. Thank you.
Dan is correct. you can save yourself a half a second per cycle by having your bow already drawn and pointing to the right ghost, Mel.
Is it faster? Yes.
Yes, it is technically faster.
Am I looking at it? No. The only
Absolutely
literally the only time I have ever not looked for the spinning Poe is if I'm trying to confirm what sounds like conspiracy theories. Like the real Meg shows up a frame earlier than the others, or the shadow is pointing towards the real one.
Okay, I want everyone to get your bets in chat. What are we finding in shadow? Is it A, Rudo's letter, B, iron boots, C, something else?
It can, like, literally only be for the song.
No, Shadow's Way of the Hero.
Oh, for the song. Yeah. No, I think it's irons. I think letter is hiding in Ganon's.
You think so?
Yep, I think strength 3 is going to be required just for this seed to show off. You know what? It might not be AD, but I'm going to make it as terrible as possible.
Truly.
Truly. And Mr. Martin through Forest now. I would expect a trip straight to GTG.
Here's the thing that Mr. Martin might do, though, is he might do what you mentioned, which is take a different way to GTG, because he already knows those 2 checks that he checked earlier didn't mean anything. So let's just check 3 other new checks if we're gonna go that same way anyway.
Yep, which is totally allowable. If this were an FPA situation, fair play agreement, it would be a little different. You are not allowed to do new checks. You are just allowed to skip ones that are dead to try and catch up. But in this case, that's not what happens. So, yeah, we are seeing Mr. Martin kind of make that way through Southfield.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I like this.
Yep, way to make the kind of best of a bad situation.
Because at this point we're still looking, as we mentioned, 3 items in particular that we're looking for. We are looking for Rudo's letter. We're looking for iron. Well, we're technically looking for iron boots. These runners don't need it, as far as we can tell.
As far as we know.
Yeah. And that's why I put the little asterisk on the end there. As far as we can tell, these runners don't need it. And also light arrows. But there will be a hint for light arrows, so that's at least taken care of.
If we can reach it.
We should. I mean,
there should be no reason that we can't somehow reach Ganon before a light arrow hint, but
yeah, I was like,
I think it's. Wait, what's ice arrows? What is ice arrows? Excuse me.
Treasure chest mini.
No. Star, are you here to admit you're wrong?
Yes, Mel, yes!
Obviously, hard required for bongo logic.
Wait, why are you saying Doc get beeped? I called that right.
That's so good.
Don't you pin this on me. Don't you pin this on me. I was right.
I need to full-on throw a keg W in chat, because that's so good.
Thank you, sometimes hint.
That's
Praise.
Also just a really funny hint, to be fair.
I mean, the odds of treasure chest game A being hinted and B being a meme item.
Hey, thanks for
Another
that
slingshot. Always another slingshot.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that shield flick we saw Mr. Martin do just there, probably just habit from doing that while backwalking, but also probably a little salty reminder.
Oh my god, I shield flick all the time. It's so cathartic.
I love watching runners who like shield flick in time to the music. That's
Ooh. When I usually have problems is when I shield flick, because I shield flick chronically. Like, that's my ADHD coming to a head there. But I will oftentimes shield flick and forget that I have the Hylian shield equipped as child. And so I go to shield flick and Link just stops moving. And I'm like, hey, buddy, I need you to move. And it's like, oh, wait, no, I chose this.
Oh,
I shield flicked it. This is my fault.
I feel like we need to backtrack even further from just the shield flicking heaps in bad decisions that you might have made, and that is just playing this game in general.
Oh, I was like, Mel, the amount of bad decisions that I've made in seeds that I've played last week alone is more than I can count on two hands.
I'm not gonna lie, Heaps and I talk to each other quite often, and
really
the number of times that we have messaged each other like, I'm done with this game. It's so dumb. Every decision I make is bad. I just get worse at execution all the time. And then like we come back and we PB the next time that we play it.
Honestly, on the weekly, like about once a week, I'm just like, fudge this seed, fudge this game, fudge this execution. I'm not fudging getting any better. I don't use the word fudge though.
Yep. We're trying to
we
be
do appreciate
respectful.
you keeping it straight, Keith.
I am keeping this PG.
No.
Welcome.
Yes. A
Also,
conversation
on a
we
different
had.
note, Martin's about caught up, more or less.
Yay! Let's go, Martin.
Go to twitch.tv/DocHeaps if you want to hear more fun words. All right.
Early for the next shout out.
And
Sorry.
40, just under an hour 40. Martin having crashed it at just under an hour 15. He is caught up in just right about 25 minutes flat. Not too bad, all things considered. Doesn't feel good to lose 25 full minutes, but
no,
it happens.
But it is about kind of what we expected, like you said, 20-25 minutes earlier.
Well, okay, technically closer to 26 because I forgot he got the room chest last time too.
Yeah. But point is, it's good. He's not. The unfortunate thing is just Sam has made it into Shadow during all of this time, but there's still kind of an adult. There's letter.
As a shock to no one.
Shocked. We're not shocked.
So what that does for just Sam more than likely is gonna go to Jabu after this, and from Jabu will most likely do Bakugo.
Child spirit.
Well, do we know what's on Burning Cack?
Burning Cack is Serenade.
Okay. So then yeah, Child Spirit. Jabu Child Spirit, the Bakugo.
Yep. So it's the bottom of the well thing that I'm less convinced on, to be honest. Because I think you're more likely to do Jabu, which is a required dungeon, and then do your Child Spirit, so you can go then beat Spirit. But Just Sam has the advantage of knowing that our progression is outside of Ganon's castle. It's just whether or not our... Where are our iron boots?
Nah, who cares?
I mean, we kind of care.
Do we?
They can't be in Ganon's, which means all of our items other than light arrows or Ganon's.
Yeah, and we know that fire is bear, and we found that hint.
Yeah.
So Ice Cavern?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got to be an Ice or Jabu, because we've seen everything else.
Yeah, truly.
Which Just Sam has that advantage of being like, okay, well, my dungeons are done, except for bottom of the well.
Yep. And that's why I think when Just Sam goes Child, the options to Just Sam really are: do they go Ganon's castle? Do they go bottom of the well, or do they go Ice? And I think after I think after this you go Jabu, and I think you do Child Spirit. I agree with that. I think you do bottom of the well. It's fast. It's Child. You don't have to age switch, and once you're done with that, you're really done with your child checks.
Yeah, for sure. And Just Sam won't have Ganons available without Bottom of the Well. So...
Oh, true.
Yep. There are hovers for Mr. Martin.
So it's either Bottom of the Well or Ice Cavern for Just Sam.
Yes.
So then it just depends on does Just Sam go and beat Spirit first, then go to Ice afterwards, or does Just Sam hang out and chat a little bit longer and do Bottom of the Well?
Yeah, this is entirely anecdotal. I feel like runners prefer being adult to child, so I can see Just Sam age changing as fast as possible, and doing Spirit and Ice before.
Hey, there's those shield flicks to the music, like you asked.
Let's go! I appreciate that.
I hate it so much.
Yeah, it adds a little something.
It's still going.
It's still going.
In case anyone was wondering, the two beeps are reflective of the what we call S1 and S2, or the closing of your tricuspid and mitral valve first, and then the closing of your aortic and your pulmonic valve second. Which creates the lub-dub sound that you might hear in a heart. So there you go. There's your anatomy lesson for the day, chat.
In case you didn't know, the doc part of Doc Heaps' username is not actually just for show. He's an actual doctor. And so sometimes you're gonna have to put up with random comments like that.
Look, I feel like everyone in chat could benefit a little bit more from understanding what their heart looks like. And knowing that you have 4 different valves in your heart, 2 of them closing from your atrium to your ventricles, and 2 of them closing from your ventricles to your great vessels is kind of important sometimes.
I guess. Was that a Schoolhouse Rock song, or was that just something that my school did that has traumatized me?
Ah.
The heart song.
There's a heart song?
There is a heart song. Mr. Martin having that long shot, we have not talked yet about some of the time saves Mr. Martin has had catching up. You know, again, if you're kind of new, like, oh, he lost 40 minutes, how can he be caught up after 25? Some of that has to do with the items that he has available to him in his inventory. A lot of that has to do with how many checks he's able to skip, knowing that they are nothing.
Yeah. But
that long shot still saves a bit of time, honestly. Mr. Martin won't have any trouble with the wall that he'll climb here in Spirit a little bit. Not that Just Sam had trouble, but you can just long shot up, which I am so mad about the developers just tricking a bunch of like 8 and 9-year-olds playing this game for the first time in the 90s. Like, oh, you mean I have to climb up this and I keep getting hit off and I hate this game? You have a long shot. You have no choice. Literally no choice but to have a long shot at this point.
Star reminding chat that Mr. Martin eliminated me from SGL 2021 in the round 1, where I would have won had I not been an idiot.
Story of your life, Heaps.
Oh, I know, truly. Because that was the game where I accidentally stopped the stream before the 15 minutes were over.
You forgot. Don't discard your delay when ending stream. Everyone.
Yeah.
Please, truly, just let it run.
It was heartbreaking.
I know.
It was.
And then I absolutely lost the second match that we played. I got murdered by Mr. Martin.
Like, okay, here's one of the things. Like, let's talk about what a class act so many of these top runners are. This was a great example where Mr. Martin agreed to a rematch because most of you don't want to, like, win that way. You don't want to lose that way either, but you don't want to win that way. I agreed to a rematch and just slaughtered.
Spanked me. Took me out back and just
You'll
put me out of my misery. But no,
you learned
no,
a lesson though, right? You'll never discard your delay again.
Yeah, never doubt Mr. Martin. Obviously. As you're seeing by the fact that he is flying through this seat, even after having lost 40 minutes. The only thing that I do worry about is Mr. Martin's lack of magic.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like you pick up Nocturne, you have Sunsong now. I am less concerned about Mr. Martin picking up that magic. I am more concerned about just Sam being a little short-sighted in a child segment here.
Mm-hmm. I could see Mr. Martin, because Mr. Martin probably has skulls now. And the bow, I don't think Mr. Martin had the bow the first time, so I don't know if he did shooting mini gallery.
Here's Requiem, by the way.
So if he has
vanilla.
Yeah, so if he has 2 or 3 different checks available between Graveyard and CAC, might be a stronger pull than just kind of a one-off Sunsong check with no hint that might be pointing towards it.
Oh, just Sam proving me super wrong, just playing Nocturne from the start. Oh, I suppose this is also their fastest way to Jabu, though.
They have no Minuet, no Serenade, there's Save Quit. Oh, they could have Save Quit a little bit faster. Oh, doing Dampe, though. Yeah. More chews.
Chew. Is that 4 of our chew packs? I think we've seen.
I know for sure 3. Anju, Dampe.
Yeah. Yep, that's 4. Anju, Shadow.
Oh, okay.
Pot, and Dampe Ticket.
So one of the things that Just Sam did very wisely there is that Just Sam, before going Child, went and did Outside Ganon's Castle. Which automatically sets the time of day to the earliest moment of night.
Yep.
Which is great because that's when Dampe is out digging. And so it actually makes it really convenient to route those 2 things together.
Yep. Just Sam playing Song of Storms, at least opening the well, but I would expect at minimum a Furor's Wind in here.
Yep. So, fascinating thing here. Mr. Martin is done with Spirit. Has Dins, has Hovers. Doesn't have magic, but... And there's the reminder. Oh, I don't have a boss key. Yeah. Should he go to Graveyard and get magic, he's about 10 minutes behind Just Sam.
Did Mr. Martin save that time? Someone please reaffirm that Mr. Martin saved that time.
I shouldn't laugh, but that...
No, I just like...
Wow.
That's the bullshit that I would do. Oh, I'm sorry, I swore.
Put
Mr.
a dollar in the jar.
Where are you going, Mr. Martin?
To do Haunted Wasteland with the magic that they have.
There's no magic on Mr. Martin's side, Heath.
That was the joke, Mel.
Yeah. So what is Mr. Martin going back for?
I don't know.
The big chest on the left side?
Maybe, but why didn't you do that the first time?
Going to Water Temple?
Yeah.
It's probably that one. It's probably going to Water Temple. Fun fact, this is the fastest way for Mr. Martin back to water.
I was like, is save quitting and riding faster? Because I think save quitting and riding might be faster.
Save quitting and riding, since Mr. Martin already had to save quit in Spirit.
Unless he didn't do is Valley Baron?
Valley is not Baron.
Okay. Because I don't know if we saw Mr. Martin do Valley.
We saw Mr. Martin peak crate, I think.
Okay. So maybe he might do like, hey, let me grab that one check in Chi that I skipped. Let me do Valley on my way to water, which definitely makes this a little bit more efficient. than writing past checks you've already done.
Fun fact, chat. Follow your heart when it comes to Ocarina of Time Randomizer, because you know what efficiency gets you in top 64?
Going on to
Mel no points in her fantasy bracket.
So what happened was Mel once again choosing to throw shade at the commentator's expense, but he allows it. So Mel had a S5 fantasy team, and
I believed in you.
Being the good friend that she is, she bet on me as one of her runners for her fantasy team. And then I went 0-2 in S5 and got her 0 points, and she hasn't.
If not, let it go.
I'm sorry.
Also, the fact that the one Triforce Blitz seed that we raced against each other, I won. I won solely because I was stupid enough to go into Water Temple and say, I'm pretty sure there's one in River Chest and Water. I can't explain why.
Like 30 minutes before I went in there.
30 minutes, and yet we were still like in the same room at the same time. Because I am slow. But going to the right checks has better results.
Shocking how that works.
Shocking.
And again, Mr. Martin checking the valley, so making some efficiency of needing to go to this location regardless. And so it was only one check, but that means that it's not an orphan check. And so I support it. It was a little bit on the slow side, but it does eliminate that orphan check. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. Mr. Martin also knows that Lake is foolish, so, like, not gonna be wasting any time here. Just say I'm picking up that long shot.
To answer chat, Mr. Martin did both South and North Hyrule. Did the one his first time through, and then after losing progress, did the other on the second time through. So it has actually full cleared field, which is the other reason why it made sense for him not to do the field route to get to water, knowing that he had still valley checks left available.
Yep.
But that's all right. We got you. Don't worry about it. You were filling out sheets or tracking, so like very valid reason to have missed that. See, look at me being nice to other people now.
I don't know why you think our trackers are the ones who don't know where items are, Heaps.
I have no idea where any of the items are. Truly, don't ask me.
Alright, so Mr. Martin is going to show us whether or not we have a hunt for iron boots, which I like. Sadly, that magic is still missing, but you know what? It's fine. Everything's fine. Maybe it'll be a nice early boss key here.
Yeah. Great strat there from Mr. Martin using a bomb when not having magic for quick spins.
That's not a boss key.
Really like that.
That's not even a key. So we also saw the bombable wall here. It was a small key.
Yep.
Central pillar intensifies.
Great little strat there to peek that as you're floating up. You just want to go slightly left of center or right of center, and it allows you to see that chest as you're floating up.
And Mr. Martin showing off just such a nice little side hop, a little hover.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, so hopefully for Mr. Martin's sake, we do not need iron boots this seed. Because just Sam will probably do everything before water.
Oh no, another small key.
You know what? That's fine though. Look, we're fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's great. The nice thing about Central Pillar is there are so many ways to get into Central Pillar that you don't really worry about it that
we get to see a cool strat here from Mr. Martin using the scale instead of iron boots. So
Frogs won.
that's
Fire
fun.
arrows.
Hey, Mr. Martin's saving there. Again,
Was Din's fire locked?
going for the hover boots list strat. I can respect that. I'm sorry, what was your question, Mel?
I was asking if Din's was fire locked because I couldn't quite remember where we found it. But it was not.
No, it was on the right side. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Nice.
Well, that's a thing that we need.
That's actually really bad news, though.
Why?
So we know that there is a small key in the Dark Link loop. Morph is a key. No, Morph is an item. Okay, we know there's an item in Dark Link loop. We have only seen 2 keys and a small item. So there's still an item unhinted. Yes. But with the way water... Oh, there's boss key. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Never mind me.
Truly, everything's fine.
Yep.
You'll probably still see Mr. Martin peek this chest here, because based off of the items and keys that we found so far, there could be a second item that's in the main courtyard of water.
Yep.
There's
nothing.
So that's all 4 items accounted for in Water Temple. So Mr. Martin can feel very confident to just grab that boss key and beat Morpha.
Yep. Alright, Just Sam, going into Jabu, which I think can only have our iron boots at this point. As far as completing the seed goes. Ganon's cannot have our iron boots because Ganon's is locked behind iron boots logically, even though we know that's not really true.
Yeah, so Mr. Martin actually routed this quite well, because he's going to completely avoid Ganon's castle. Because he will go to Shadow, knows that Shadow is required not only for the song, but also because it's a Way of the Hero dungeon, gets Rudos, and is in go mode.
Yeah. Yeah, we will have to find out when Mr. Martin finds that magic, though.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
Yep.
He's still looking for magic.
Yep. Just Sam is the one who can avoid Ganon's at this point.
You're right.
But it's hard to know for Mr. Martin what exactly the thought process will be behind that. One would hope, of course, for a nice even race here, that, you know, how many skulls? No, Morpha, why are you the worst?
Oh, it was such a nice snag there. It was gonna get the quick cycle.
I wasn't even gonna mention it. I'm like, it's fine.
I think the funniest thing about Commentator's Curse is that all of this happened 15 minutes ago.
Yep.
Regardless of what we say, this happened well before we even said anything.
Yep. There is a delay. Also, happy 2 hours, chat.
Yeah, so like when we were talking about still needing to find Din's Fire and Spirit Temple and then immediately finding Din's, that happened 15 minutes earlier.
Yep. It doesn't mean we are still watching this in real time with all of you, but
yes.
It does not change the fact that there is a 15-minute delay for this tournament, and we have no idea where any of these items are and how much trouble each of these runners could be in or could not be in at this point.
Exactly. I think Star posted on the in the chat. Mel did this last time, so I'll take it this time. So on Restream today, we have Just Sam the Boss. We also have Hey Mr. Martin, both of which have been showing us some amazing execution. Hello Hammer, that's not needed to see.
Disgusting.
So beautiful execution, beautiful routing. Give them a follow. We also have our trackers here. We have Warren Traveler. We have This Isn't Baseball. And we have Shannock. And so 3 just stellar human beings. Love working with them. And then, of course, my co-commentator, partner in crime, and General Hellion, Melqui here.
Yo!
So, all of which lovely people. And then, of course, as you have both heard and seen, we have Star in chat. We have Mara in chat, the 2 organizers of the SGL Ocarina of Time tournament. Both the online and in-person tournament, which will be happening at the end of October out in Virginia. So if you are interested in this and are excited to meet some lovely Ocarina of Time peeps like myself, I'll be there. End of October, 26th through the 31st, out in Virginia. Definitely should get your tickets, get your hotel room, have a great time with the rest of us.
Let's go. We're gonna have fun. There's Mr. Martin. So I like the way Mr. Martin has routed this, you know, picking up those golds, not making an extra trip here for it, but like, you need to go and turn in 10 or 20. Going into DC.
This is where Just Sam lost the time, was they had done DC. That's right.
Yeah, so I'm surprised Mr. Martin is making this decision right now. I'm not sure if it's just for the hint here, or thinking I had bombs early, magic has to be available early, which unfortunately for Mr. Martin, we know that magic is in Sunsong Grave, which, okay, thank you.
Yeah. And they will get to that after this.
Yeah, it's just, it is unfortunate time loss knowing that the first time around skipping this was the right decision.
Yes. Which honestly is not very common to see DC being a totally skippable and totally barren location. Because it is, again, it is accessible from so many different angles. You can use hammer, you can use bomb bag, you can use bomb choose, you can use strength, all of which can get you in here quite easily and quite quickly. And so very often it has items because it's just usually accessible at such a low sphere count.
Yep. Knowing where that hammer is, though, I am sure Mr. Martin is thinking my bombs were available early, my strengths were available, for the most part, very early. My storms locked one of my strengths, which wouldn't really lead you to DC usually. I wonder if this is solely about that magic and thinking about how early it had to have been available.
Yeah, and
Nocturne.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Martin just had better plays. You know, by the time he went back adult, it was like I could do DC, but I have everything that I need for Forest, and Forest is required.
Yep.
And then once beating Forest, it was like, well, I could go to DC, but I know I need to cross the wasteland, and I have Strength 2 and GGG's there. And so, like, I think Mr. Martin just always had better plays.
Yeah, and that's very important. Dodongo's is very quick, honestly, when you have all of the tools available to do it. You can see Mr. Martin is doing long shot strat here. It's a small chest, unfortunately.
Yep.
But is able to ground jump, so it's gonna be fast. It's sad to watch more time loss knowing that there was already 40 minutes of time loss.
Yeah. But again, like this will almost assuredly lead Mr. Martin to the magic.
Yes.
Because he will go to Kakariko, he will do Graveyard, before then progressing on to Ganon's Castle as your next best option.
Yep. Yeah, because at this point, Dodongo's Cavern is our light medallion dungeon. It is otherwise, unless there is an item in it, a useless dungeon. Because we say that because the actual dungeon reward gives you nothing. Everything else gives you something. But not finding magic in here should push Mr. Martin to the rest of those kind of early checks. It's just, how exactly does he go about routing it?
Exactly. Yeah, I think Sam... I mean, all Sam's missing... Yeah, you play Requiem here. You go water. I think Sam at that point... based off of how... Well, you're gonna have gold scale, so yeah, you'll do... It would be very strange for Sam not to get light arrows in their first dip of water.
Yeah, agreed. Even if irons are in ice, like it is looking more and more likely, you're not wasting time on that unless you have to. Just Sam knows I can clear all but one check in water. Odds are on my side. It's fine. It's fine.
Truly.
Oh. Ice having just full on... Wait, was the last chest in ice? Yes, it was hinted. So we know it can't be vanilla irons, but French vanilla irons feel very on track for this seed because nothing about water other than irons was locked behind everything. It's just... where else is there at this point? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah. And again, like... Exactly what you pointed out, you know. It would be nice, it'd be fun to know where it is, but we don't really need to know where it is.
I'm so sorry. I need to step away for a minute and put my dog to bed. I'll be right back.
Aww,
I know.
dog's so cute.
I was like, don't call her a cat again.
I behaved myself today. Thank you.
And then back to babysit.
Welcome back. This mid-30-year-old child does need a babysitter.
Who is actor than him in actual
I appreciate you. As do I appreciate all of you in chat joining us this evening, and hopefully you are all having just as much fun as we are having here in the commentator booth.
Looks like Mr. Martin will be getting his magic now. That's good.
Yep. Yeah, but again, like, unfortunate just by the means of Mr. Martin's route that was not able to pick this up earlier and then had no reason to come back here.
Yeah. So, he obviously does not know for certain. Chance for noting that he is in technical go mode, he is not actually. He has no way of knowing that it is not just literally a pair of iron boots sitting in Shadow Temple. Not that he won't do it anyway, because he knows it's, does he have Song Time? He does not have Song Time, but he knows it's a very good chance that that's going to be locking his Requiem, and it is his most dense play anyway. Might as well go do it, even if it's not 100% guaranteed his letter.
So,
because
yeah,
from Martin's perspective, there is absolutely nothing stopping his iron boots from being in here.
Yeah, and, you know, if you're in Mr. Martin's shoes, and you're walking into your last way of the hero location, you are praying that it is not iron boots. Because the amount of times where, you know, I have, in a seed, gone to my final way of the hero location and been like, come on, please be Rudo's letter. Please be Rudo's letter. And it's iron boots, and you're like, I already did that dungeon. I don't need this item. It's more than I would like to admit. It makes me sad.
It does happen, because, you know, Rando does like to Rando.
Truly. So, we got just Sam here. He's going to be cleaning up. And then be able to rush right into Water Temple after this.
Yep.
And one of the things that's going to be going on in Just Sam's mind is that Just Sam, while they don't know where light arrows are, they will be able to get that light arrow hint from Ganon, or from Ganondorf, excuse me. And so, sure, Just Sam will most likely find light arrows on the way. But in Just Sam's mind, can think, I only need to beat water, and I can get that hint, and so I don't really need to be as thorough trying to find those light arrows. I can just kind of rush my dungeons, go straight to Ganondorf, set for Roar's Wind, get the hint, and go from there. But again, in this case, Just Sam will more than likely find it in his first Water Temple dip, just by the way that most runners route Water Temple.
Yep, typically you'll do all the basement checks, the 3 in a row map, crack wall torches, and then boss key chests as well together.
Yep.
Just while you're all on that first floor, might as well. Funrova being Funrova.
Yeah.
Not cooperating at all for Sam here. There we go.
So, and Mr. Martin just making his way through Shadow Temple. Again, he knows at this point that there's an item here. He also knows that he needs Requiem. Praise those double hints. Ooh. Love me some dual hints, because knowing what's on Child Spirit, even before having to do Child Spirit, is such a game changer. So, I don't know about the rest of y'all chat, but I have been really enjoying the dual hints so far.
It is a little bit mean to see that you absolutely do have to go to Adult Spirit anyway, no matter what, to get your Dins and Nocturne and Hover Boots. Before you to go do Shadow to get Requiem to go back, because the seed does that. Rando is Rando, and it's not nice.
But like one of the nice things is that is Lacey in bed?
She is in bed. My dog's name is Lacey, chat. She has terrible allergies this time of year, so she starts whining and is like, Mom, please, put me in my safe space.
My nose.
And then I'm shutting up again.
Yeah, so
Thank you,
absolute
Star.
Bye,
Not
Star.
for shutting up. I am not thanking you for shutting up. That is not what I am saying.
Wow, Mel.
Star said it.
Oh, glory. Why do people let us do comms together?
I don't know.
Really?
We're available.
Is that the bar?
That is the bar.
So perfect.
Yeah,
So you
we had
two,
options.
in your availability, can volunteer for SpeedGaming Live.
Come join us. We're fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere
Noops,
the volunteer
let's
sign up link. What? Oh, sorry, Star.
Indeed, you can see at the link I just posted there, you can see the schedule as well as the Discord. You may join the Discord to get pings about when these races happen, and learn about and find the link to sign up. If anyone's available, we do welcome people. Feel free to sign up and we'll put people on as we go. We are in particular looking for volunteers for both Sunday's qualifier at 2 p.m. Eastern and next Tuesday's qualifier at 7 p.m. Eastern. Currently missing a few comms and a few trackers and some other people besides. Would be good to get these people. These all restreamed. There are 12 total qualifiers in the live brackets too to keep in mind. Lots and lots of OTR going on, not just here but everywhere else, because this is one of about 6 different things going on right now.
Yeah, I need to calm chat down a little bit here, Star. Sorry to interrupt. So the Ganon's boss key that chat is concerned about, which you receive the first time you enter Temple of Time as an adult, after having the Spirit and Shadow medallions, is not airdropped to you. Just Sam did not delete Ganon's boss key or anything here. He's just fine. He'll get that. Needs to play Prelude anyway.
Yep. So there's 2 different settings that are available for Ganon's boss key. One is where you just it just magically appears. The other is going Temple Time, exactly as Mel said.
Yep.
Oh, it's not
Hey,
quite
Star.
that simple, Heaps. There is a few different possibilities. Light Arrow cutscene will give it to you on the Light Arrow cutscene. As we all found out during the previous qualifier race stream, please don't save quit on the first frame of that cutscene because you will delete your boss key for good and there is no saving you from it. It's not covered by the Fair Play Agreement, and we cannot do the math to give you your time back in qualifiers because that's a whole can of worms nobody wants to touch. Don't do that. So, lighter cutscene is one. You can also have more typical racing settings will often have the boss key removed. You can also have it be in Ganon's castle, be vanilla, be in Ganon's castle, be anywhere in any dungeon, be anywhere in the overworld, or be anywhere period at all. As well as on a variety of unsorted other win conditions. And if it is on skulls, hearts, stones, medallions, or dungeons, you will in fact get an air penalty. But that is not the case for these settings because it is on the later cutscene. So that's good. But yes, OT is a well-coded game, so sometimes permanently deleting your boss key, which we saw in the previous qualifier restream, is something that sometimes does unfortunately happen. Just be aware of it and don't do that, please.
Anyway, all of this adding up to a very good race between these two restream runners.
Yes, indeed. Martin has done very well, all things considered, as he picks up his Rudo's letter.
But yeah.
Sam is going to set Feroz here in front of Morphe's door to get back faster, in case anyone's wondering what he's doing right now.
Yeah, so all of the kind of beneficial routing Mr. Martin kind of had from that long shot, just Sam has with that magic and Furor's wind. It's going to be much faster, just Sam won't have to save and quit, reset the water level or anything. We'll just find that boss key and bail. Depending on how just Sam routes this though, usually Gold Scale Water has a very prescriptive route just because of the limitations that you have in routing. But there's a chance that he ends up skipping those light arrows and this becomes very close. Just unlikely.
Yeah, especially having 2 keys in the first 3 checks here, because Gold Scale Water, usually with Iron Boots, there's some divergence. Sometimes people will go and do the compass chest first with the 4 little kind of clammy doos that love to attack you. And some people will do what we call the map chest, or this chest first. However, with Gold Scale Water, you can only do this chest first, because then you have to lower the water level to get moving. And so, exactly to Mel's point, very prescriptive that way, because this is really the only way that you can get this dungeon moving. And so, just kind of watching these 2 runners tread over old ground. That ground that each one has covered previously.
Opened the wrong view. There we go. Hey, Drew. Drew, another fabulous Ocarina of Time randomizer racer, dropping in to give us some salt.
Look, I didn't say whether doing compass first or map first was better or worse, but definitely that I have my preferences.
I think I was just giving you grief about this the other day. Like, you go in water with your iron boots and you're not doing compass first?
Nope, you do map chest, you do cracked wall, you do torches. That is the heaps correct way. Now,
well, the Mel correct way. Wait, can we make this work the Melquirect way? No, it's too forced. It's too forced.
The Quirect way.
I am a compass first kind of girl, so, like, sorry. Sorry, y'all.
if you wanna be queerect, like that
No,
that sounds, I don't know why, but it sounds dirty, and
it sounds so bad.
I don't like it.
It's not dirty. It's just trying to force a pun from my name. I don't know. But yeah, Sam did find.
Yeah, so
Sam did find those light arrows. In summary.
Yep. So Sam is now in go mode officially. And again, reminder: go mode means that Sam has everything that he needs to beat the seed. He just now needs to do the execution and actually go through the motions of beating the seed.
Yeah. So just Sam. Again, considering there's a 15-minute delay, has probably already finished.
Yeah, and I was gonna announce this, and then of course, as the Peeps ADHD do, forgot. But our first finisher of this race was actually Cariosa at 2 hours and 22 minutes and 56 seconds. So about a minute ago.
Dang.
About a minute ago, minus 15 minutes because of the 15-minute delay. Cariosa did in fact finish the seed. So you look at where they're at right now,
Yeah.
and about this point, Cariosa had just beaten.
Was done. Yeah. That's great. I am sure Cariosa was out for a little bit of revenge. Had a unfortunate time with the qual on Sunday, which was pretty troll. Yeah, Cariosa in first place and Engel in finish. 2:23.25. Wow.
Right on, Cariosa.
30 seconds difference between those two. Amazing.
Well, and then Ecola floating in, not even a minute after Cariosa.
Wow.
Well, there's your top three when you're looking at the point breakdown. And again, we can have Star talk a little bit about how the points work, but those are your top three finishers right there.
Yeah, and I mean, again, not too surprising. These are names that we're very familiar with in this community. All of them just beast mode constantly.
Oh, God, yes.
But also, like, all right. Oh, and Alexis, fourth place. 2:25.25. So like 5 seconds ago. 10 seconds ago. I can count.
Yeah, like 10 seconds ago, plus or minus 15 minutes.
Yeah, plus or minus 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We only care about what we can see, Heaps. That's what matters here, right?
No, you matter, Mel.
Oh, no, you. Ooter Dad.
Aw.
That sounds dirty. No.
I was gonna say Udu Mommy, but
let's rewind. Pretend the last 20 seconds did not happen. There is just Sam picking up that boss key, which we tried to reassure chat. It still existed for just Sam. And there you can see it.
Thank God for that.
Brunus, part of the multi-world team, Dad.
One of the many Ocarina of Time events that is happening right now. So if you are really enjoying SpeedGaming Live and looking for more Ocarina of Time excitement, of course we have this tournament going on, as well as the in-person tournament happening at the end of October. But the multi-world tournament is just around the corner as well. 3 runners playing 3 joint seeds together, all of which sharing items with each other. Racing 3 other runners, and so it's a 3v3 battle. Quite fun, quite exciting.
Our second place finisher, Engel, joining us in chat. Welcome in, GG's. As chat is telling you, Hammer was in Jabu, which I assume you go-moded.
As one do.
Yep, which we'll definitely be seeing from Mr. Martin here, who has all of the items, has completed Water, knows that the boss key in Spirit is just hanging out there. So I would be very surprised to watch Mr. Martin open a single chest in Java.
Absolutely. And Mr. Martin is making fantastic time. Again, this race had 18 runners in it. And is really doing quite a good job for the fact that we've only had on restream 5 people now finish. And so Mr. Martin's still poised to do really well in the scene, even having lost, 30 minutes, and then of course losing that time in DC. So, I'm really proud of Mr. Martin and his tenacity to stick it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of want to point out, I think Engel's the only non-French runner in the top 5.
Wait, hold on. What? Isn't it like 4 a.m. France time when this race started?
I should correct you. Barbu is Québécois too, but the only non-francophone. The other 4 are indeed all from France.
Okay.
Carius, Icola, and Alexis are all indeed from France. And yes, there are some very dedicated runners in this community who will race at start a race at 4 in the morning if that's what
This
they want to
race
do.
started at 2 a.m. France time.
Why
Yeah.
is Hell Knight awake? Hell Knight!
What are you
It's
all
Hell Night.
doing?
It's Hell Night now.
Go
They
to
always
sleep.
has a weird sleep schedule.
Go to sleep.
Okay, so among many other bad decisions in playing Ocarina of Time Randomizer is the sleep schedule that you apparently adopt when you've got this. Like, at least it's before 10 p.m. for me. Like,
It's going on 11 for Heaves and I.
oh, get some
Please.
sleep, chat.
At least the sleep will be over soon enough.
Yeah, right? Alright, Mr. Martin getting the equips ready to go pick up a fish, go do Jabu. I can't stop myself. Like, we already talked about how awkward and dirty it sounds to call us, like, Ooter, Dad, and Mom, but...
Look, I prefer Uber Daddy, thank you.
I mean, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Okay,
Yeah.
Ooter Daddy. I will be Ooter Mom because it sounds less dirty than Mommy. Like I can't stop myself from being like, why aren't you asleep? Because I myself suffer from insomnia. I don't like being awake at 5 a.m. because it means I woke up at like 1:30 or 2 and I've only had 2 hours of sleep.
Yeah, Dorf is not being a friend
Yeah.
to Japan. Which is why I typically prefer the hang off the edge strat. Tends to make the cycles a little bit nicer.
Say something so bad. I won't
I'm so
go.
proud of you. Incredible.
Meanwhile,
Incredible
Mr. Martin
self-control.
entering Jabu. You're right, Drew. I mean, I disagree a little bit just because I do think sometimes Ganon is a little more strict on how close to the edge can I be, and you won't randomly, like, punch down and destroy me. As someone who dies to Ganon way more frequently than I should, I am perhaps biased in my interpretation of how Ganondorf acts.
Yeah, I feel like just Sam has maybe beaten Ganondorf a few times. Maybe a little bit of experience under his belt.
Just a few. I know
Yeah.
that Sam qualified for SGL last year. I believe he wasn't able to participate. But
Just Sam is very, very long-term experienced runner. Been around the community for a very long time. Somebody that I remember watching before I got into Ocarina of Time Randomizer. So, yeah, definitely somebody who is very respectful or very respected in the community.
maybe respectful, I am sure.
I'm sure. But definitely respected.
Yep. And that is going to be GG's for Just Sam. Let's get those in chat. genuinely don't remember if Just Sam is also from France.
We'll soon find out.
We will hopefully find out, but if so, I am guessing we will not get it. That makes sense to you.
Sam is Canadian. Fantastic.
Sam is Canadian. Great. So, both of these runners, aside from being awake, it might actually be a time that's reasonable for them to answer some questions for us.
Delightful. Sam in chat says, I'm not Keck W, which, good on you. Good on you, Sam.
Thanks for joining us. GG's. I mean, it always feels like a coin toss. Are they from France? Yes? No?
Yeah, are they French? Are they Canadian? Who knows?
Yeah. Are you in the Francophone tourney that's happening right now? Maybe. Who knows? Which I love that it just sneaks up on everyone else. Like, they never warn all of the English-only speakers that the Francophone tourney is coming. It's just like, suddenly, hey, we're here.
Yep, Mr. Martin from Costa Rica, chat's pointing out. I think that's really cool.
I did know that. I knew Mr. Martin was in a time zone that was more likely to be reasonable.
I will say for the longest time, so Mr. Martin and Mr. Mario were on the same the same co-op team, and in my brain I got to know both of them at the same time via their co-op team. And so it was like Mr. Martin, Mr. Mario, and I was like, they're the same person. They're not at all, like not even close. One's from the New England area and the other one's from Costa Rica. But in my head, I was like, yep, same person.
Yes.
I'm just being honest here. Like,
I mean, I think we all appreciate the honesty. I am guessing Sam joining us in chat and not yet in our voice channel.
Needs to have the dot done marked on race event is like he will
Oh,
be joining us in
gotcha.
voice chat once that happens.
Cool.
Oh, he waiting for the invite.
Yes.
That bot. Oh, okay.
Calm down, Heeps. It's fine.
No, look, I am hypomanic at baseline.
Oh.
Like on a 1 to 10, I'm generally an 11.
Yep.
Or as I was called today, a 90s sitcom star.
Yep. If our okay. Our tracker may have actually left. Yay, there we go. Yeah. Chat, if you have any questions, we'll get a general feel for how Sam felt about the seed in general, but if you have any specific questions, we are happy to pass those along. And welcome in GG.
Hey, GG, Sam.
Thank you, guys.
So, how do you feel? What did you think?
I did too much.
Yep,
But
nope,
it's okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, it's fine though. I don't really mind it.
Yeah,
it was fun though. Even if I lost by like 10 minutes and I don't know, all good.
yeah, and it's interesting because I think the one thing that really pushed you to doing more of the seed was not having that long shot.
Yeah, I knew long shot was like early in the seed, but not that early.
Yeah. And bottom of the well is always one of those plays where it's just like you had good plays, you had all the force to do, knew you needed to cross the wasteland. It's like, do you do bottom of the well that earlier? Do you wait until child 2? And in this case, doing it in child 1 would have paid out in the long term, but there's just no way you can know.
Yeah, would have been way better to do it in child 1, but I had way too much thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. You had so much progression that you could do. It would be hard then to justify bottom of the well. So I totally understand it.
Yeah, it was kind of fortunate for us that you and Mr. Martin took different paths in the early game. So we knew that that long shot was there most of the race. I'm sorry. I am very distracted by a comment. Heaps, did you see what Drew wrote in chat here? Was it like a specific 90s sitcom star or like just in general? Earlier today, we were discussing identifying which anime characters we picture thinking of Ocarina of Time randomizer characters. And I told Heaps, you're not an anime character. You are an 80s, 90s sitcom character. So, just Sam, to make this more about you, do you think you're more of a sitcom character or an anime character?
No idea.
Questions you don't expect in a
the quality interview questions that I bring here.
Truly.
Oh. So I guess for a real question here, what do you think of the settings since the seed kind of it wasn't super straightforward, but I think the hints were strong enough that, you know, aside from bottom of the well, you kind of knew where you needed to go.
Yeah, hints were fine. I'm okay with the settings, but sometimes it can be like a casino that's pretty bad. Like I don't know. The settings are good, I think. But the all hints, it's super cool.
Yeah, super cool, and like today, incredibly helpful knowing early on that Child Spirit had boss key.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it just you know, it made that routing just a little bit nicer. So yeah, so that, and then of course, you know, talking about the 3-stone bridge, 2-stone boss key. Do you like that? Are you more of a fan of the classic 6-med? 6 settings, no preference.
I prefer the like S5 settings, but these are fine for like a tournament. But I don't feel like I will be playing these settings every time.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fair.
Really cool.
Yeah, I think more than anything, I think a lot of people have been really appreciating chest size matches contents and now chest appearance matches contents. I think far and above, people are incredibly happy with that setting. I mean, because you look at places like Bottom of the Well or GGG, and it just speeds it up considerably.
Yeah, a lot. They even do it in the MMR now.
Yeah, I saw that. I've been watching season 3, and seeing that. But does MMR do it for like all the different, like all the masks, and because I feel like MMR has a lot more unique items than Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, every unique items, art container 2 are in big chest, and shoes I think are in big chest too. But yeah, almost like everything unique is in big chest.
Yeah, and that's because when I was watching, I've been watching a little bit of S3 that's going on right now at Zelda Speedruns, season 3. So I felt like every other chest was a big chest, and I wasn't used to that coming from Ocarina of Time, where it's a very select few items that are actually in big chests.
Yeah.
By the way, as an aside, Mr. Martin having a little bit of fun here. If you jump / if you fall off of that platform before the cutscene, Link will be placed right back on. So, doesn't actually lose you any time, just looks swaggy.
Magic. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, I don't have a lot of questions because we had kind of a pretty good handle on the seed early on from all of the info we got from the two of you on Restream here. Where were you gonna go for your irons, I guess is the real question.
Irons? Probably
if you
ice?
needed them. Ice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the ritual.
You
Yeah,
basically that and Ganon's.
It couldn't be
maybe,
Ganon's.
Ganon's, yeah.
It couldn't be
Yeah.
Ganon's.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you
Almost
did
forgot about
everything
cannons.
else except for ice and cannons.
Yeah, that's true. There's Ganon. Hey, they could. Huh? No, they could have been Ganon.
Water-locked bridge, yeah.
Yeah, they could have been Ganons.
And fire was foolish, so, I mean...
They're probably nice, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I almost certainly.
Yeah.
I had like nothing left, pretty sure.
So I don't know if you heard just Sam. Mr. Martin. It was actually a very close race, very neck and neck. Mr. Martin had done right side GTG maze and had save scummed to then go and use the keys that they needed for left side because they didn't use Song of Time or didn't have Song of Time. But then hadn't saved since bottom of the well, which was they had done before forest.
Yeah.
So they had to go all of bottom of the well again, all of Forest Temple again, all of GGG again. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. And so the fact that they are only, as a few minutes behind.
That's pretty good.
They truly just powered through the second playthrough of the seed and have been just killing it, but definitely unfortunate that they had to do Forest twice.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just Forest is just such a long dungeon, and there's very little things you can skip.
Yeah, and almost entirely the time difference that we're gonna see here between the ends of these two runners comes from having to do Forest again. We keep saying Mr. Martin had a little bit of routing advantage, got to skip GTG a second time for the most part, just had to go into the lobby, grabbed golds just as a precaution in case lights were in Ganon's, but did, get a chance to clear out South Field on the way back to GTG, for example, which you ended up doing as well. So just kind of, it really boils down to having to redo the longest dungeon in the game.
Yeah, pretty much. You guys want to know where irons are?
Oh, yes,
yeah.
absolutely, 100%. Spoil this for us.
Where are they?
They're in DMC Ferry.
No!
You need hammer.
Okay.
Wait, that hammer was required?
Hold on. Star said that in chat. Did you know?
I did not.
Wow.
You were like, there's no way that hammer is relevant, right?
Man, I wish the Dusky was in tower then.
Oh, that's so funny. Mr. Martin has a safety fairy, fortunately, taking a death to the Iron Knuckles, though.
That's a great spot for Iron.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
Jabu actually doing something this seed? Question mark? I mean, not really, but...
Oh, that's so funny, though.
Oh my god.
Because you always wonder, okay, Hammer, we know Valley is dead, Fire is foolish. Is there something in Crater Fairy? Gross. And then you wonder what the game is thinking, not hinting Crater.
Mm-hmm.
Or Jabu, even. Like, what? Alright, so we have a couple more finishers. Pyra in 7th place, 237.21. Nath in 8th place, 243.20. And Vidya coming in 9th, 245.22. We're catching up. Maybe Mr. Martin rounds out our top 10.
I think that he can, honestly. And again, like, he has been playing incredibly well. This last hour, really.
Yeah.
So.
The one real big downside here, Mr. Martin. No hammer, no big Goron sword.
Oof. Oof.
So, Sam, is Nut Strats your preferred backup to all of this? Is that what we're gonna see here from Mr. Martin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts strats beats hook or bow strats any day of the any day of the week.
Not
Oh,
so really
no.
fast compared to hookshot or
Yeah. What is
Absolutely.
it? Is it 9? 10?
10.
10.
10. Ganondorf giving Mr. Martin a little bit of trouble. Ganondorf
Yeah.
gave you some.
No, that's all my fault. That's not the game's fault. I'm so rusty.
Always blame the game. Always blame the game.
I played too much MM. So I'm rusty at this game and now.
Oh.
I mean, for being rusty, you still did an amazing job with a great placement.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely great.
but yes, maybe it's time you dust off the old Ocarina of Time and come join us over here.
I'll be playing soon for sure since I'm going to the live event.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I will be right there with you, just Sam.
Oh, that's nice.
Keith versus
yeah,
Sam. in
yeah. So I'll be
person.
there.
Are you playing?
I'm playing. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm super excited for the. I can't do the online, which is why I've been doing comms, but definitely will be doing the in person. So and I think it just auto did it. But if you want more information, there's actually a comment in chat right now talking about the in person. Hang out with myself, hang out with just Sam, Star and Miraba, and a whole bunch of other people who have confirmed that they're going. So it's going to be a great time.
Kowari also going, and the magic that we know of was on Sunsong Grave. Just wanted to get that answer in quick.
So yeah, hopefully it's not too far away for you, Sam.
It's like 8 hours, I think.
Okay.
Oh, are you driving?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Driving safe.
We're gonna be like, how many? I think we're gonna be like 6 in one car.
But I was about to say, please tell me you're road
I was
tripping
gonna
with the
say-
Canadians.
I think
Oh, yeah,
I
those are
think
the
I
players.
heard
Yes.
there's a group of them.
Look,
Yeah.
I want videos of carpool karaoke.
You know
I
they're
wanna-
all gonna be doing.
Look,
a
I want to
drive-or
see
time
what
in
their
the
I want to
car.
see what their snack choices are. Like, I am here for this.
Ooh, Canadian snack choices, please get the ketchup flavored chips for the Americans. We don't have them here.
Okay.
They're bad, but
Look, they're all going to be stopping for poutine. We already have established this.
and GG's Mr. Martin gonna be finishing up here, and I don't see a top 10. It might just be suspense building.
Yeah, I think he might be able to land that 10th slot.
What's the big chest you know of in Bottom of the Well, Kowari?
And GG's. That is Mr. Martin in 10th place, losing close to 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And so battling back from a huge loss to an incredible finish. So GG's to you, Mr. Martin.
GG's. Let's see. The other big chest in Bottom of the Well, if what you know of is long shot.
Isn't it double defense that's also there?
Double defense was in the like room.
Yeah. So, yeah, we don't know where second magic is. No idea where irons. Nor do we care.
Oh, we know where irons
No.
are.
Oh, yeah.
Just
Sorry,
Sam
DMC
confirmed
Fairy.
for us.
You said that just, Sam. I
Oh,
promise you I was listening and not drinking wine.
why not both?
Why not both? Mr. Martin, GG's on finishing.
¿Por qué no los dos? To welcome in Mr. Martin.
We were talking about wine before you came in.
Oh,
Yep.
I was like, I don't understand the joke.
Oh, well, Heaps it's difficult for Heaps to do two things at once.
Truly. Mr. Martin, GG's on the finish. terribly sad to see on a restream the time lost, but proud of you for sticking that out.
Yeah.
I probably just stayed playing because I wasn't restream.
Yeah.
I probably would have forfeited
Mhm.
if I wasn't.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You recovered amazingly, though. I mean, you just kind of whipped through everything, having to do forest again, obviously. The worst.
Yeah, it
But
was good that I remembered where the keys were.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could. But
I was floored because I had no idea where the keys were. I was like, no,
I would
just
have
somewhere.
forgot.
I know. I
100%.
was kind of expecting a 3-key forest to just randomly, oh, okay, there's nothing in here, sure.
yeah, there was only one key there. But
Yeah.
I haven't practiced 3-key forest. It's usually not a big deal.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't even benefit you here because you still got to beat the pose, right? That's usually the sticking point.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't know, like something like 20 seconds faster anyway.
Yeah, it's not worth like
Mm,
can lose
yeah.
that spot.
Yeah. What were y'all's thoughts on finding the light arrows in Water Temple?
I was like, that's too fast.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, thank you, I need that. I didn't have any other thoughts. I was like, well, okay.
Oh, that's so funny because when you pulled those light arrows, I was like, Central Pillar getting real scary now.
Central Pillar was a key.
Oh.
At the end, it was a key.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was a good laugh. That gold scale just so easily accessible in GTG was just amazing. And also, could we talk about the Shadow Temple kit that was Hovers in Desert Colossus, Nocturne in Desert Colossus, Din's Fire in the first 2 checks of Spirit Temple?
Yeah, it had to look like Shadow or Water
Mhm.
Colossus.
Mhm.
So yeah, pretty much expected.
But the fact that it
But-
just handed you all
Just
3
e-
items on a
just
silver
everything.
platter.
I was so hoping for a out of logic magic there, but it didn't
Ah.
happen.
Oh,
Yeah, and it was heartbreaking because of course Just Sam had done DC, I think sub hour or close to the hour mark, so we knew that it was barren, and you had managed to skip it, and we're like, oh, Mr. Martin might save some time here by skipping DC, and then of course pushing there on your way to Graveyard totally made sense. But
I can blame the reset for that.
Mhm.
If I
Sure, skip DC.
if I didn't go for the strength, I would just play Nocturne
Oh, that makes sense.
yes.
Yep.
because there are no more checks on the way.
Yep, so
Damn.
you would have gone Graveyard CAC up to DC versus
Yeah.
going Death Mountain Trail down to DC into CAC.
Yep.
Yep.
God damn it, Strength 3 that wasn't even required.
Yep.
Steve, we were doing so well.
It's fine. Both of those words are in the Bible. It's okay. It's my
Sure.
rule.
It's true.
So but any thoughts overall on the seed, Mr. Martin?
No, I think it was pretty straightforward to just follow your hints and GG's.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else, just rush.
Yep.
Yeah. And enjoy the slingshot that
Well,
GTG.
find the magic, right?
Oh yeah, well, I mean that too.
But
Hold on.
that's the only thing kind of out of the way. I
Hold
think.
on.
Oh, the boomerangs.
Domain
can skip it.
Torches had the other magic.
Oh,
Really?
I was
Well.
thinking, is there a way that it's in Foolish Fire?
no way I'm
Has
going there.
Hammerlock.
Domain torches. Interesting.
That's
no
terrible.
way. No
That's-
way.
Mr. Martin's like,
Yeah.
come on, seed.
Like, when do you go domain in this except on your way to Jabu?
Yeah, or when you 100% the seed.
Yeah,
Or
like,
yeah, when you're in desperation mode.
that's disgusting. Sounds about right.
Yeah, and
Oh,
we were just commenting on that during the seed that the downside to your route was choosing to do adult early, like adult CAC and graveyard early, meant passing by there without Sunsong, and then by the time you got Sunsong, you had so many better options to do than the
Yeah, no Nocturne, right?
singular check. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And of course, no Nocturne. And so it totally made sense based off of your routing. Just unfortunate that the other one was on the Torch Run in Zora's domain. So,
Yeah, but
oh, sorry, go for it.
no, I was gonna say everything would have been alright if I didn't reset anyway.
yeah. No, you
Um,
had been routing really well.
Absolutely.
I think you and Just Sam had kind of what turned out to be very similar advantages over each other, honestly. Just Sam had found the magic and you had found the long shot, so it was interesting to see how that ended up playing out as far as your time.
Which one was he looking for?
Just Sam didn't do bottom of the well until basically doing child cleanup after Jabu and Child Spirit. Or
Oh,
maybe before those, I think, was when it
Yeah.
actually happened, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wait.
I-
I did well before Jabu.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
I was just remembering you played Nocturne because it was your fastest way.
did
to
you get the
Jabu.
hookshot right away as child?
The first hookshot in the Saffron? Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
got
that
the
makes more
two-
sense. If you don't
Yeah.
get that hookshot, you rush the well.
I got the choose from Andrew as child. I was like, oh, that's nice. I do like all the checks in Lostwood, and
Yeah.
oh
Oh my
there's this
God.
bomb back there.
We were laughing so hard that Andrew, as adult, had choose, and then Andrew, as child, also
I
had
choose.
choose. Yep. So they both had choose. And it was unfortunate that for you, Mr. Martin, that adult Andrew only had the 5-pack.
Yeah.
Because we saw that you were trying to be quite conservative with those choose, skipping Sacred Forest Meadow, skipping Lost Woods checks with the explosives. Whereas with that 10-pack, just Sam, you were a little bit more liberal with those choose, which afforded you to do the Sacred Forest Meadow and the Lost Woods and picking up that hook shot earlier when Mr. Martin was not able to get it.
Yeah, we're
Until-
trying to keep 2 for the well.
Yep, which totally made sense. It just because of those different chew counts in the packs that you got, it just meant that we got to see a little bit different routing through that child segment.
I forgot for a bit that chickens was only 3, so I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then I remembered them. Well, I just do it right. It's pretty quick like this.
Yep. So, I think thinking ahead, we've, I think, is this both of your first matches or both of your first qualifiers?
Yeah, not my first SGLC.
It's my second qual.
Second
First
qual.
one was pretty bad. The
Okay.
first one was pretty bad. No, the second, I don't know. I don't feel good with this one just because I lose so much time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, understandable, but you
Yeah.
played great. I want to reassure you. You played excellently. I know that doesn't help the bad feeling, but
One of the things
Thank
that I was
you.
gonna, and totally echo what Mel said. One of the things I was gonna point out is that in the for those of you who are unaware of the SGL, the way that the points work for the online qualifier, the first 3 races count towards your total. If you do 4 races, your top score is dropped, and if you do 5 races, your bottom score is dropped. And so lots of people will elect to do only 3 races. Some people will elect to go on to do 5 races. So, all things to think about, not only for those who are, in chat, but also to our 2 amazing runners, should they look at their scores and want to do additional races that,
I definitely need 5, I think.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like, Sam, maybe you're just doing this for the practice for the in-person.
Yeah. I'm
true?
not playing
Yeah.
online.
Okay. Yep. Yeah.
So.
Well, good luck to you and the rest of your calls, Mr. Martin and just Sam. Excited
Thank
to
you.
see what you do at the live event.
Thank you.
Yep. Sadly, Mr. Martin, you can't eliminate me from the online tournament this year. As you so gracefully did last year.
I feel like that's a challenge, Martin.
We had a bumpy match, right? That was pretty wild.
Yeah, that was something that I choose to not remember on a regular basis. But yeah, no, it was. We were talking about that earlier about just how commendable you were and subsequently are as a person and a runner. And that little actions like that show just your character. So.
I mean, I just want to beat you for real, not.
Wow. Okay. Look, meet me at the flagpole next Saturday, 3 p.m. I'll show you what's up.
Yeah, I don't want to win because
Oh my
there was a
God.
crash or something, or
Oh,
some mistake
no.
like that. Because I think you were winning that one.
Yeah, no, that was that. You're
You
right.
were
You're right.
right.
It was an fortunate series of events, but no, that just all in good fun here. So I think I hear you, Star. Though, Star, any final words from you?
And GG's to both of our runners. Give them both a follow. Just from the Boston, hey, Mr. Martin, as well as our two commentators, Keeps and Oakley, as well as our inner trackers, too, Born Traveler, Baseball, and Shannock. Thank you all for your work.
Thanks,
Any
Star.
particular last words before I take us out of here?
Thanks for joining us, chat. Consider coming and joining us on volunteering or the live event. Maybe
Yeah.
we're fun.
And see you all on Saturday.
What was that noise?
What? I just said Saturday.
No, in all actuality, so, GG's, let's see, coming up ahead on the schedule, let's see, first off, yes, points calculations will be officially posted later, but, tentative, Martin will probably get, about 80 points, I'm afraid, being almost a half hour after the first finisher does not do great things to your points calculation, but I wish you luck in your future calls to improve your point score, Martin. And, we'll enjoy seeing you in person, Sam, as well. See, full points to be posted in the morning once everyone is done, because I need to head to bed after this. And then the next qualifier will be this Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. We are the channel to be decided, but that will be that will be on one of the SpeedGaming networks. We also have on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern qualifier. That one we are still looking for volunteers for, so if you want to check out the schedule check out the link there in the chat, as well as join the SGL Discord for more updates and more information. And that shall be it for us tonight. Thank you for watching all. We shall see you next time.